Athens.
District Judge Stephen Hippler giving Koberger a life sentence for each of the students he stabbed to death. A plea deal took the death penalty off the table. Koberger did not give a statement. A federal judge just rejecting an effort to unseal grand jury transcripts related to sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The ruling in South Florida denies a Justice Department motion, one in a series of attempts by the Trump administration to release more information in the case, after criticism over a DOJ memo that concluded no further release was warranted. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard defending her allegation of a treasonous conspiracy directed by then outgoing President Obama to undermine the first Trump presidency.
There is irrefutable evidence that detail how President Obama and his national security team directed the creation of an intelligence community assessment that they knew was false.
She doesn't dispute other probes' conclusions of Russian meddling in the 2016 election, but says they weren't trying to help any particular candidate, and there was no Trump campaign collusion. Obama's office has called the conspiracy allegations bizarre. Police in Wisconsin just confirming the body of a missing grad student has been found in the Mississippi River. Elliot Hines was last seen early Sunday near the waterfront in La Crosse after being out with friends. Her cause of death is still under investigation. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's not just heat advisories and bad air quality you'll have to watch out for. Certainly a heat advisory in effect at the moment. It's sunny and 90 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 3:02. Severe weather could also hit Indiana late this week.
This is certainly a pattern that can be conducive to damaging winds. You know, we get into this part of the year when we get an upper-level ridge off to our west, and we're kind of in this northwest flow pattern.
Joe Neild with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis believes Thursday will be the hottest and most humid day of the week, with highs in the mid-90s and heat index values topping 105. Indianapolis Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson has battled shoulder problems and other ailments throughout his young career in the NFL, but at training camp today, he said he's feeling great.
I feel like it's with anything, you know, you constantly do something, you know, all the time, just like a shooter playing basketball, constantly putting up jump shots. Your shoulder's going to be a little sore from all that work, but I'm ready now, and I'm ready to go.
The Colts practice again tomorrow morning at 10 at Grand Park in Westfield. A man was murdered in Gibson County back in the early 1990s, but police say the man responsible for that murder is now in custody. Norman Ellerbrook was killed in 1993. His head was badly beaten, and he had been stabbed multiple times. State police and the FBI decided to look at that case again. It was DNA evidence that led them to arrest Timothy Farber of Evansville. Farber was arrested just after 4 o'clock Tuesday afternoon and taken to the Gibson County Jail. $3.07 a gallon is the statewide average for gas today, says Gas Buddy. That's down almost 10 cents from this time a week ago. Family-focused addiction recovery in Indianapolis is getting some help. Johnette Cruz explains.
A vital resource in Indiana is getting a boost to help families heal from addiction. Justice Companies has donated $66,000 to Indianapolis's Heart Rock Recovery Center. Heart Rock stands out as one of Indiana's only family-oriented recovery center, allowing mothers and their children to stay together throughout the recovery process. This community provides safe housing and comprehensive care for pregnant and parenting women. This funding will directly aid families in their journey towards healing and lasting sobriety. Johnette Cruz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
WIBC News Time, 3:04. Your traffic and weather next.
The heat outside does not have to be the heat inside. Masters Heating and Cooling is here to help. I use Masters Heating and Cooling in my home. David, the general manager, and the entire Masters team take care of my family. They've replaced parts of my system, serviced parts of my system, and everything is running in tip-top condition. My house feels amazing. Right now, you can get $1,000 off a new AC system. We're talking about a full system replacement here. $100 off electric, $250 off hybrid, and $500 off tankless water heaters. Talk to Masters Heating and Cooling today. They have 0% financing for up to 60 months with qualified system purchases. Terms and conditions for all offers. Restrictions apply. Call for details. Masters Heating and Cooling. They'll take care of your HVAC and help you out 24/7. Call 317-567-9505. Tell them Tony Cat sent you. 317-567-9505. Masters Heating and Cooling. 567-9505 or online at mastersindy.com. That's mastersindy.com.
With traffic at 3:05, here's Matt Bear.
All right, John, check it out. Southbound 6570 stop-and-go traffic from the north split down to Fletcher Avenue. It is a delay of 9 minutes. Inbound 65 slow around west. Northbound 65 at west is stall on the shoulder. Looking at the north side, westbound 465 stop-and-go traffic from 31 over to Michigan Road. Traffic sponsored by Speedway. Got one of those days that never stops? Try a stop at Speedway. Refresh the vibe with 69 cents large Big Gulp drinks. Speed Rewards app required. Valid through 8/26/25. See app for full terms. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
For tonight, mostly clear, muggy air, low temperatures in the lower 70s. And for tomorrow, the entire state under a heat advisory. Heat index values in the afternoon expected to get near 105. Spotty chance and a shower or storm. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Sean Herrick on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is back. Got some good news. I say good news, but it's born out of the devastation that happened in April where Governor Braun declared a state of emergency for 18 counties affected by remember all those storms, man? There were 2 fatalities, Hammer, crazy significant damage. And the Indiana Guard also was mobilized to assist in those recovery efforts across 41 counties. That was back in April. So Donald Trump announces what today?
That the state of Indiana is going to get some money. That's kind of leaked out yesterday, but it's being announced officially a little bit later on.
That's good news.
$15.1 million in disaster relief coming to Indiana. And again, these were the storms that were around April. And the 2 deaths, if you remember, were a result of like tree limbs being just blown over by the winds.
Yeah.
And I think they landed on a car. And just a horrific story. 41 counties were affected. Now, compared to what you saw in Texas, in North Carolina, parts of Arizona, New Mexico, Indiana had it pretty easy.
We don't have to compare and contrast. There was still significant damage.
Right. It wasn't
for us.
Billions of dollars of damage, but $15.1 million. And when you think about that type of money, it almost seems small when you talk about government money. Like government money,
federal
i.e.
money,
tax dollars, your money, they talk about it in such astronomical terms, billions of dollars, that 15.1 million
drop in the bucket.
Doesn't sound that much, but think about what places like the Salvation Army do with such little money. Like when we do that fundraiser we do every December for the Salvation Army.
Radiothon.
The Radiothon. Again, what they're able to do with just the little bit that your amount to donate goes a long way, man. So I'm happy that some money is coming in. Would I have liked to have seen more? Maybe, but not going to complain about getting some money to help some people who are still probably dealing with insurance issues and all types of hell that happened when those storms broke out. Governor Braun, by the way, will be in studio with us tomorrow, and we can maybe get a little more in-depth on how specifically that money will be used.
We're out of beer. We might want to pick some up for the governor. The last time he was here, he cracked one open with us.
You know what? He works for us. I think it's his job to bring beer to this show.
You text his people and tell him that. For him to get into the studio, it's like Styles getting a keg to get into that party in Teen Wolf. To get into this studio, you need to bring us a keg of beer.
You work for us. Remember Tom Homan ranting at that hearing in Washington?
Yeah.
I'm your boss. I pay taxes. You work for me. Man, remember the unfortunate tragedy where Officer Noah Shanavaz lost his life. This was a shooting that took place. He was an Elwood police officer, just an ambush attack. And the scumbag that did it, his name is Carl Boards II. He was taken into custody for the murder of Officer Shanavaz. While in custody, he somehow made a prison shank. I know we hear that term a lot from movies
Yeah.
and TV shows, but it's a real term, right? A sharp knife-like object. He was able to make one in his cell, and he tried to murder an officer. This happened a couple of months ago, and we're getting more information now. The court records have been released. According to the records, Carl Boards II stabbed a prison guard with a handmade old-fashioned knife multiple times. The investigators indicated that he tried stabbing the guard just before 5 a.m. on April 25th. They also found meth in his cell. He got into a fight with other officers, prison guards, chasing some of them around, trying to stab others as well. The injured correctional officer sustained 5 injuries in total, including a puncture wound to his left shoulder, puncture wound to his right shoulder, a laceration to his jaw, and 2 lacerations on his right thigh.
So what's going on here? Because court documents say, like you said, you mentioned, he said this. They searched the cell. They found meth, a brown leafy substance, and clear liquid that smelled of alcohol. That, ladies and gentlemen, is called contraband within the confines of a prison or a jail cell. How does that get in there?
It wasn't like he had just one of them, right? I know you can't watch these dudes all the time. There's cameras, I get that, but prison dudes will find a way to get stuff in there. But he had it all. I mean, he had a shank, he had meth, he had other contrabands in there. I mean, my goodness. You would think for a guy who's probably one of the most high-profile people in that prison, because he murdered an officer, and that's how those scumbags view cop killers in the joint. He was in the cell by himself, didn't have a roommate, so he was clearly working with somebody. He's got a caretaker on the outside. If you watch The Longest Yard, caretaker was the guy that was able to get stuff on the inside. Red was that character in Shawshank Redemption. But man, that's an awful lot of contraband, and just what a scumbag.
Pray for the death penalty.
Right.
Pray for the death penalty. I mean, his lawyers withdrew the insanity defense, and doctors claimed that the judge said there were doctors that claimed that found him competent to stand trial. The judge has again ordered the 3 doctors to perform additional evaluations to this guy to determine his competence. I'd say he's pretty competent.
Right.
He's pretty competent getting meth and booze into his cell. I think you're competent to stand trial and get that death penalty.
I'm with you 100%. Let's get it rolling. We're kind of on a hot streak right now of killing bad guys on death row. Let's get this guy convicted. Let him go through the appeals process. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's light up the streets with these punk asses, man. I'm here for it. Let's go. Nigel, if you need a reason to drink tonight, I got a couple of them, okay? I've been out for a couple of days, so I feel like I owe you a couple reasons to drink tonight.
Let's have it.
Happy 52nd birthday to Monica Lewinsky. 52 years old today.
Hey, yeah, a friend of ours sent us a picture. A friend of ours that used to date her sent us a picture of her at 52, and she looks better at 52 than she did at however old she was with the cigars.
Right. She looks a hell of a lot better now. I don't know if we can say the same for Jeff Boggs, but she looks great. And do you think it really just grinds his gears, Jeff's gears, that he and Jake Tapper are Eskimo brothers?
Oh, dear Lord. That's too much.
They both have dated Monica Lewinsky in the past. Jeff's talked about it on this program before, so it's not like we're, outing anything here.
That is too much.
But Jake Tapper's hit that, and so has Jeff Boggs. So it's kind of like they're the same guy, if you think about it. She's 52 today. For this next reason to drink, Miss Allison, I need some mood music.
Uh-oh. Who is it?
I know you guys were talking about Guns N' Roses on Monday, I think.
Yeah, I think the anniversary of Appetite for Destruction came out last week in 1987. Yeah.
Happy 60th birthday to Slash.
Oh, my man Slash.
Slash is 60, Nige.
Favorite guitar player ever, man. I've had the honor of meeting him and interviewing him several different times. The most down-to-earth guy you'll ever meet. Great interview. He will answer any question you want. My all-time. When people say, like, when I tell them what I do for a living, you'll inevitably get the question, who's the most famous person you've ever met? I say Slash, without a doubt. Bigger than Will Ferrell, bigger than some of these obviously news guys that we talk to. Slash is the most famous person I've ever met, most awestruck I've ever been.
Here's a little chat that you had from a previous life, Nigel, with Slash. There was a story, I don't know if it was a rumor or if it was confirmed, that he would drink a handle of vodka before he would go out and party.
Yes.
Like, not a shot, not a drink, a full-on handle, and here he is responding to that rumor.
That was just at the house before I went out that night. So
that was just a pre-drinking, huh?
Yeah, that was like just to get ready to go out and deal with the public that night.
Your liver must hate you right now.
No, actually, it's in pretty good shape. My heart gave out on me though, but my liver's good.
So casual. My heart went out on me, but my liver's great.
And that was part of the drinking.
Right.
And he's been sober for a number of years now.
That iconic open of Sweet Child of Mine.
Yeah.
I believe that came to be because Slash was just screwing around one day.
I don't know if it's true, but I heard he was playing the theme to Jeopardy. And, like, if you play guitar, like, I know how to play the opening of Sweet Child of Mine on my electric guitar. And you can kind of make the case that if you rearrange the notes, it's like the Jeopardy theme
Allison,
song.
can you play that mood music again? Because I want to hear, now that I know that it's Jeopardy, I kind of want to hear it. Huh.
I guess we'd have to get the Jeopardy.
Right.
I guess it's just a rumor I heard. Nothing confirmed. But I've heard that he said he screwed around, and that's how he came up with that. That's how they came up with all those riffs.
And they liked it. They kept it. Great moments in Sweet Child of Mine history. Friend of the show, Allie the Piper, she does an awesome version of Sweet Child of Mine with the bagpipes. Pretty solid.
Love Allie.
And lastly, great moments in Sweet Child of Mine history from the movie Step Brothers.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4. She's got a smile that it seems to
Kids
me
are sitting in the back
reminds
seat.
me of childhood memories.
I love this.
All of us and Matt Baer need to remake this video.
Bright blue sky.
All right, Tommy, you're the oldest. I'm counting on you. Come on,
Nige.
She's got eyes on the bluest skies as if they thought of rain. I hate to look into those eyes and see.
Now here comes Allison's part.
Vibrato, buddy.
Come on, Allison.
All right, Alice, let's go.
Reminds me of a warm sleep.
Flat. It's so flat. I didn't even know. You don't even look good while you're singing. The worst thing I've ever heard.
Happy 60th birthday to Slash. Matt Baer.
Looking at northbound 65 stop and go traffic right now from the north split up to 21st Street. That's because of a stall on the right shoulder. Southbound 65 70 loaded from the north split down to the south split, delayed 6 minutes. Northbound 65 a little slow from Edgewood Avenue up to 465 because of construction. East side southbound 465 slow 70 down to Washington Street. Traffic sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first, so what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Freaking Catalina wine mixer. 88 right now. The American Standard Cooling
Like
Weather
Kobayashi.
The Attorney General, Todd Rokita, will join us here in just a few minutes. But up next, we've got another road show coming up. We'll let you know where we're coming.
Your house might be like mine, where you just had the sidewalk leading up to your front porch and your front door, and it's just your average, everyday, normal sidewalk. Ours was falling apart. I wanted to do something different. I wanted to turn that whole area, there's a whole big space there by our porch that needed to be turned into a custom concrete stamped patio. That's what we were looking for, and that's why we went with Indie Decorative Concrete. You can find out about all their work at indiedecorativeconcrete.com. And now we spend a lot of time on our front patio there with a custom stamped, unique look. These guys are the best in the business. Mark and Jamie are the owners. Been around since 2007. And everyone who works for them, by the way, is a W-2 employee. No subcontractors coming to your house. So whether it's a new patio, sidewalk, porch, don't do anything until you've checked out IndieDecorativeConcrete.com. IndieDecorativeConcrete.com. And tell them Nigel sent you.
Are you ready to build your custom dream home? Joiner Homes is ready to make your dream come true. Over 18 years, Joiner Homes, based out of Greenfield, have built hundreds of homes in central Indiana. And the best place to start is JoinerHomes.com. That's where you'll find pricing, photos of completed Joiner homes to inspire you, available home sites, and info on where you can visit their model homes and a lot more. Be sure to check out Joiner Homes' 5-star Google reviews. Get started today at JoinerHomes.com.
Road trip! This summer at Tire Discounters, your tires are your passport to savings, because you're driving to Paris,
Texas,
then it's off to Rome,
Georgia,
and you'll be kissing the Blarney Stone in Dublin,
Ohio.
Right now, save up to $434 when you buy 4 tires, and that includes a free alignment and oil change. Stop at Tire Discounters before you see the world.
Matt Sullivan here with an offer from my friends at Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling that you don't want to miss. For a limited time, Hope Plumbing will buy back your old air conditioning unit for up to $1,500 with the purchase of a complete heating and cooling system. It's time to call them if you're hot. Don't wait for the next heat wave to be caught sweating at home. Act now before the offer ends. Stay cool and call Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling today at 641-HOPE. That's 641-HOPE.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply, stop to opt out.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country. When you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
Connect with a local divorce attorney today. Text divorce66 to 323232. Divorce66 to 323232. 101 West Ohio, Indianapolis.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock, because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Hey folks, Scott Wilson here from Wilson Farm Market, just 20 minutes north of Carmel. We're proud to bring you the freshest produce farmed right here in Indiana and across the Midwest. And don't miss our home-style fried chicken, scratch-made bakery, and a deli packed with ready-to-go favorites. Got a sweet tooth? Check out a variety of old-fashioned candies, the kind that brings back sweet memories from your childhood. At Wilson Farm Market, we're all about local freshness, friendly faces, and food that feels like home. Wilson Farm Market. That's Wilson Farm Market.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
Well, we're coming to your city.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Oh, man. Friday, August 1st.
Woo!
It's a beer sample Friday, and it's at the Indiana State Fair.
Oh, baby.
Our show being presented by our pals at Wilson Farmer Market inside the tap room where it's nice and air conditioned, and we're doing it again this year, man.
One of our favorite shows of the year.
It is by far.
We do a couple things on the road every year that are kind of locked in. This is one of our favorites.
Johnson County Fair is awesome. Let's be honest.
Oh, they set the bar pretty damn high.
Yeah, they set the bar high, but they didn't have a beer hall.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I was looking for. They had beaver tail.
They did, and it was delicious.
The Johnson County Fair. They had a rodeo, but then I want to. When we're talking about the state fair, we're talking about that tap room, and we're talking about an awesome show, and it's on a beer sample Friday. I think it's opening day.
Yes, Friday, August 1st. So get the whole damn family into the family truckster.
Yes.
Make your way over to the fairgrounds.
And kids can come in, by the way.
Yeah, totally. They can sit around and watch the show. There's a couple kids in there. And I will be competing in the deep fried Oreo eating contest against an opponent to be named later.
Oh, last year you did it against your son.
Destroyed him.
Who was working the event, actually.
Mopped the floor with him.
He didn't want to try to redeem himself?
No. His exact words were, "I'm not as fat as you."
So I can't get. So what is the contest? The deep fried Oreo eating contest, correct?
Right. One order of deep fried Oreos.
Yes.
Whoever can eat them the fastest.
Are you currently working on somebody, or are you taking volunteers? Do you want to try to get a listener?
You know what? I'm open to all challengers. If there's a listener that wants a piece, send us an email, hammerandnigel@wibc.com. If you can make it to the fair on Friday, August 1st, if you're going to be there and you want to go toe-to-toe with the great one, step on up and you'll go on the air with me and we will compete. I will buy the deep-fried Oreos and then I will kick your ass. It's like when Alabama plays Ball State in football. We're going to pay for you to come to Tuscaloosa. We're going to kick your ass and everybody's going to have a good time.
Holy crap, that's a week from Friday.
Yeah.
Good God, this year is flying by, man.
Three Dog Night concert that night. So it's opening night, Three Dog Night, beer sample Friday, and man, lots of local beers inside that air-conditioned tap room. And thank you so much to Wilson Farm Market. They're the corn people. Like, they do, like, most of the corn for the state fair, and it's so good, man. If you've ever bought one of those big, stalks, fantastic. The fair food, top-notch. And speaking of the fair, if you would like to go to the Great Indiana State Fair and hang out with us on Friday, August 1st, caller number 9 right now at 239-9393. That's 239-9393. Caller number 9, we're going to give you 4 tickets. We used to call it a family 4-pack.
Hey!
When I was jocking the hits at the other station. Family 4-pack, 239-9393. Nigel, what is your favorite fair food?
Look, man, going there with my dad when I was a kid, the elephant ears.
Oh, yeah.
Elephant ears, by far. It doesn't, I mean, that's a classic, and the elephant ears. And look, I remember last year as I was leaving, I bought a giant corn dog. I just demolished it. So, I mean, that's a corn dog, fairly simple, standard thing. But, man, I was so hungry, and it was one, like, an extra large.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Extra large. I think you took a picture of me holding it. It was like 5 feet long.
I felt uncomfortable watching you eat
me
that.
Ingest that.
But the weird thing is I couldn't stop watching. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Okay, Hammer, I still haven't made my appointment. I need to get on the ball here. Victor's Home Solutions, I know you had them out at your house for the free 21-point roof inspection. Victor's Home Solutions, absolute best company to call, no questions, hands down, if you're having problems with your roof. On-time appointments, clear and concise written estimates, an easy-to-follow timeline.
Call Victor's right now and get that free 21-point roof inspection. Free is the key word here. A free 21-point roof inspection. And when they come out, talk to the representative, ask all the questions you want, and bring up the 50-year leak-free guarantee. That's right, 50-year leak-free guarantee. 866-VICTORS. That's 866-VICTORS, or go online, victors.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-962-2403. 800-962-2403. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-962-2403.
Things can steal your sunshine.
Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken.
Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's only going to go up from here. Partly cloudy and 88 degrees in the Circle City with a heat advisory in effect. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 3:31. If you think today is hot, just wait until tomorrow.
Similar, maybe slightly higher numbers tomorrow around 93. It's really that dew point that's going to be ramping up the discomfort. By the time we get to tomorrow, we're looking at dew points in the mid-70s, 75, 76.
Joe Neild with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says storm chances remain low until late Thursday, but there are scattered showers possible on Friday and Saturday. Sorrow and anger filled the inside of an Idaho courtroom today where Brian Koberger was sentenced to life in prison without parole for killing 4 Idaho students. One of those students who was killed by Koberger was Kaylee Consalvis. Her sister Olivia addressed Koberger directly.
You didn't win. You just exposed yourself as the coward you are. You're a delusional, pathetic, hypochondriac loser who thought you were so much smarter than everybody else.
Prosecutors say they can't force Koberger to explain why he attacked and killed the students with a large knife because that's not part of the plea deal. A missing graduate student in Wisconsin was found dead today in the Mississippi River. Her name was Elliot Hines, and she was 22. She had been missing since Sunday when she was last seen walking in La Crosse. Hines was a student at Viterbo University. An autopsy will be conducted soon. The House keeps on debating the release of the Epstein files. Fox's Ryan Schmelz.
House Speaker Mike Johnson says the House is not leaving for August recess early over the Jeffrey Epstein files and says Democrats are trying to utilize the issue to score political points.
We will not be lectured on transparency by the same party that orchestrated one of the most shameless, dangerous political cover-ups in the history of the United States. And that was President Biden's obvious mental decline.
The Speaker says he supports the House Oversight Committee issuing a subpoena for convicted sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell, but does question if her testimony can be trusted. On Capitol Hill, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
Kyle Gibson is a former Major League Baseball pitcher now and an alum of Greenfield Central High School. He announced his retirement after 13 seasons in the league. The decision was revealed on the Serving It Up podcast, co-hosted by Gibson and former Major League Baseball players Lance Lynn and Matt Holliday. Gibson played for 6 different teams during his career. He reflected on his time in the league in the podcast and expressed gratitude for the experience. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:33.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9379. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9379. That's 800-575-9379. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
With traffic at 334, here's Matt Bear.
All right, John, south side, northbound 65 slow after Southport Road 2465. That's a construction zone. Southbound 65 70 stopped from the north split down to the south split. That's because of construction delaying us by 5 minutes. On the north side, eastbound 465 slow from Keystone Avenue to Allisonville Road. And east side, southbound 465. Stop and go before 70 down to Brookville Road. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at DrexelIN.com. Visit DrexelIN.com for your free interior design or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
For this afternoon, plenty of sunshine, turning more humid. High temperatures getting to around 90 degrees. Tonight, mostly clear, still humid, lows in the lower 70s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
And I'm John Herrick on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a very special studio guest.
The Attorney General for the great state of Indiana is Todd Rokita. Mr. Attorney General, how are you?
Hey, great to be with you guys. How much unclaimed property have you gotten back so far?
Oh, you know what? It's funny you mentioned that. Guy Relford filled in for Hammer on, the guy, Guy Relford. He got $2,500 recently off IndianaUnclaimed.org. Because he opened an account when he was mowing lawns when he was a kid, like put like $100 in here and there in that account, and he forgot about it. And years later,
does a 17, 6, whatever it was, 16-year-old boy forget about $100?
Well, I don't know. I mean, he may have been younger than that, but do you know what he did with the money? Let me give you guys a wild guess what he did with the money once he got it.
Bought ammo.
He bought guns. So yes, success has been made for sure.
No, Guy is co-author of our Gun Owners Bill of Rights.
Yes.
So as well. So no, he's a good friend of the office. No, good. Glad it's working out.
Mr. Attorney General, so there's been a lot of talk about crime in Indy and whether or not the state of Indiana needs to step in and do something if the mayor or the elected prosecutor are not doing their jobs. I know there's a lot of different plans being worked on right now. One senator's plan, Senator Mike Young, came on this show. He wants you, the Attorney General, to basically be in charge of the Mile Square downtown. There's a lot of plans out there. Is that something that would interest you? Do you think the state needs to get involved here?
Well, I'll tell you, something needs to happen because, it's just because this is our capital city. This isn't the Democrats' capital city. It's not Mayor Hogg said it. It's all the states. I'm not from this area. So I still want to have a great deal of pride in our capital city. So I think that's where Senator Young is coming from on this. And I don't know if he means putting me in charge, Attorney General in charge, as much as he means having the Attorney General's office have concurrent criminal jurisdiction to prosecute crimes around here. This reminds me a lot of Congress. When I represented the state in the House of Representatives, believe it or not, Washington, D.C. would have been a lot worse if you didn't let Congress be in charge of it. And basically, D.C. has a mayor, so there's some issues there, but Congress is basically in charge of the capital city. Yeah. And I think what Mike Young's trying to do is something similar, and I'm for that.
Now, the Constitution of Indiana kind of lays it out that if there's an elected official, in this case, Ryan Mears is the elected prosecutor of Marion County, one with a 60%, vote, as is the case with most Democrats in Marion County. How can you remove power from someone like that?
Well, there's an impeachment process. It's a hard one here in the state of Indiana, and we're going to be coming out with some written opinion on it. I'll come back and go into detail about it, but there are ways to impeach elected officials, whether they be judges locally or statewide, whether they be governors or attorney generals or local office holders. So that can be done. It's a high bar. You got to pass something through the legislature, basically, in this case.
So, but you would be open to...
I'm sorry, maybe I missed the question.
Would you be open to those types of things for your office to handle is what I'm asking. Like if, let's just say, Senator Young's plan makes it through the Indiana General Assembly, Governor Braun signs off on it.
And this isn't a Todd Rokita thing. It's done in many other states. Why there's a bugaboo here? Oh, yeah. Plenty of my colleagues have concurrent criminal jurisdiction. Prosecute crimes if a local prosecutor can't or won't, conflicted or just won't do it. Yeah, this is not, no offense to Senator Young, but the mile square thing is really unique, and it's like Congress, and that's very interesting. But the idea of having concurrent criminal jurisdiction between office holders at different levels is not a new idea. It's done in a lot of states.
And so it's just done differently here. Like you said, there's some sort of bugaboo.
You should have some of the prosecutors come in and explain their side of it, but they religiously guard their prosecutorial discretion across the board. And it's regardless of party, Democrat or Republican.
Not to change the subject, but one of our YouTube users, I just got $200 on Indiana unclaimed.
Hey!
So there we go. The Attorney General Todd Rokita on with us.
That's $200 in bonuses I can't give out. No, just kidding. It's your money, not anyone else's.
Since the last time you were in studio with us, there was an execution in the state of Indiana. Benjamin Ritchie met his maker. And then Governor Mike Braun, I think some of his comments got taken out of context a little bit, but people took it as he was open to ideas with the Indiana death penalty. Everything from new ways to do it to maybe getting rid of it altogether. Where are you at with the death penalty?
Well, I am for the death penalty as a part of the justice system. I think it's needed, it's deserved. And, of course, you think about the victims in situations like this, but think about the jury that spent weeks on end and the hours they spent, your fellow citizens 25 years ago or so doing that. Think about the thousands of hours spent by prosecutors and then by my team in the appellate process. And, by the way, we have Tyler Banks here. He is my chief deputy in charge of the capital punishment team. And I asked him to come to this interview knowing that we might get into this because he and his team deserve a lot of credit and a lot of thanks for carrying out their duty in a professional, appropriate way for years on end. When you put it in this context, of course, the death penalty, from the victims to the jury to the thousands of hours and thousands and millions of dollars that have been spent to date, of course, the death penalty needs to be carried out.
So it feels like here in Indiana, over the last 6-7 months, things have really been rolling. People who have been on death row for a long time, completely out of appeals, who had just been sitting there for years, all of a sudden, now we're getting dates. We're getting executions taken care of. Why is all of this kind of happening? Why is this going so quickly
now?
I'll
tell you, and it's hard to, you guys know more than most that the last governor and we couldn't really agree on what color the sky was on most days, but I give him, and I'll take I was the right one in that one.
Okay.
The right was the correct on most of those, on all those fights, but he did, his staff, and I don't know why, procured the drug. And that allowed me to do my job of motioning the Supreme Court to start this going again.
And you recently did that again.
And then again, yeah. And so now, but the excuse.
So it starts with you. The execution process starts with you.
It does in a sense, but I was prohibited really effectively from making that motion because we didn't have.
You didn't have the cocktail.
Yeah. But then once Holcomb called me one day and said, "We got it," I said, "Okay, let's go." I will carry out justice, and we did. And you know what? I got to tell you, I don't think he'd mind me saying this, but the guy who made me start pushing DOC and others and just having the conversation going, he sat right in this chair before.
Mike Pence?
No, not Mike Pence. Greg Garrison.
Greg Garrison.
The Hamilton County prosecutor had me at lunch one day, and he said, "Hey," and I was a year or so into my first term, and he said, "How's come this isn't going on?" That caused me to start asking a bunch of questions. I'm not saying I caused it all to happen. It was really Holcomb that came one day and said, I got it. So we were prepared internally in my office and with my agency client DOC to then proceed. And so,
what kind of bourbon was Mr. Garrison drinking at this luncheon?
No, sir, it was lunch. Well, you know, I'll tell you about Greg Garrison.
I know. That's why I asked him.
He's a Till of the Hunnish. So,
hell yeah.
You may think you drink with the big boys. Sit down with the counselor one time. One more thing on death penalty here. You recently pushed the Indiana Supreme Court to get a date for the next one. That has been set. I believe there's one more individual left on Indiana's death row who is out of appeals that's eligible for the death penalty, and that is the Shoney's murderer from back in the early 1980s. Do we have any updates on either one of these?
I have no updates for you right now. My understanding, and looking over at counsel here as well, just to verify it, is that they may not be out of appeals or not be eligible for appeal or for the death penalty yet because they may not be out of appeal. So we can come back though, and we can talk about what we can on that in further detail. But yeah, until we have more of the process to go through, this is our last one.
Hey, we got to take a quick time out here. Can you come back? Because I want to talk about this Monroe County versus ICE situation.
Oh, sure.
All right, we got the Attorney General, Todd Rokita, with us. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
We have time.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numbness, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Matt Schulke, chiropractic neurologist and board certified in neuropathy. What is neuropathy?
Neuropathy is nerve damage in the feet or hands.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
Absolutely, and we get amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, pain, or balance issues, call Dr. Schulke today for a free nerve damage screening. This screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for their specialized treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Simply call 463-400-3338. Act now. Call 463-400-3338 for your free nerve damage screening. 463-400-3338.
There's something timeless about radio. It's where stories are told, ideas are shared, and communities stay connected. Our generation grew up with it, and we still believe in the power of tuning in. At Howard Bailey Financial, we believe planning for retirement should feel just as familiar and trusted. That's why we're bringing real conversations and practical advice to the airwaves. Join us every Sunday at 9 p.m. for our Retire with Purpose Radio Hour, right here on 93.1 WIBC. We'll talk about what really matters in retirement, income you can count on, choices you can feel good about, and a future that reflects your values. Because some things, like good planning and good radio, never go out of style. Howard Bailey Financial, retirement planning that speaks your language. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com. The Retire with Purpose Radio Hour is a paid placement on each airing station.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Some things can steal your sunshine.
Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken.
Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
A diagnosis of Alzheimer's can make it a struggle to communicate with loved ones. This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. In a moment, I've got a tip which often helps that will be music to your ears. Don't go away.
Cardon & Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Visit cardon.us to find a community near you.
A growing number of studies show the power of music's role in those living with Alzheimer's. The next time a loved one seems to be tuned out, gently place headphones on them or simply turn on one of their favorite songs. Watch their eyes light up, and don't be surprised if they sing along or start chatting about the tune. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joyce House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access a library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
Pierce Jewelers is the best family-owned jewelry store in Carmel. All jewelry and watch repair, appraisals, and custom design are done in-house. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Do you need air conditioning service and need to find a local well-trained expert you can trust, like Family Heating and Air Conditioning? Find that American Standard Air dealer at IndyHomeComfort.com.
Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at DrexelIN.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
Tired of digging through noise to find real news? Go straight to WIBC.com. Local stories, statewide impact, national headlines, info that matters. When news breaks, WIBC.com is already on it. Stay on the know while you're on the go.
Matt Bayer, what's up?
Eastbound 70, stop and go traffic from Harding Street into the South Split. That is a delay of 3 minutes. Southbound 6570 jammed up downtown from the North Split down to the South Split. That's because of road construction. Delayed 11 minutes. Inbound 65, stop and go from 21st down to west. And westbound 465, a little bit slow on the north side from Meridian 31 past Michigan Road. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at DrexelIN.com. Visit DrexelIN.com for your free interior design or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
It's 88. Heat advisory is in effect here at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Oh man, the off-air conversations. The Attorney General, Todd Rokita, is with us here on the Hammer and Nigel show. So I believe that you and the sheriff from Monroe County were playing the feud for a little while, right? You guys had a little dust up about ICE and illegal aliens.
You know what I say about me, guys. What's not to love. I don't. So
Rob Kendall says that all the time about you. So does Abdul. It's wild.
All right, we'll need a separate segment on that. If you're listening to those guys, you're listening to the Village Idiots. There, I said it.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah. so you open the door, as they say in the legal world.
I know, I derailed the whole conversation here. But the Monroe sheriff, he had an issue with complaints that they weren't cooperating with ICE after an illegal alien did some horrible things down there.
Hey, look, I had to, majority of the sheriffs, they do their job. If you would have asked me, guys, 2 years ago, would you ever be suing law enforcement? I'm like, hell no, right? It's not what I do. I defend the police. I don't do anything else. But I recently, and this is, you got to understand something about the office a little bit, right? The two aforementioned people, for example, like to complain about me not going after certain other office holders and everything else. You got to understand, the authority I get comes exclusively from the General Assembly. So if it's not called for in statute, really, I can't do it. Now, recently, the General Assembly said, you, Todd Rokita, and AG's office go after sanctuary jurisdictions, sanctuary cities, sanctuary counties, and all that. So that's in statute. So I did. Just like if Senator Young's bill would pass, I will enforce criminal law, right? I will do it. We have a record of getting on things. So I got on two sheriffs for not honoring ICE detainers. And it wasn't my word versus their word. I had ICE in writing saying, you know what, the Sheriff of Monroe County didn't honor these detainers on these dates.
Why?
Because he's putting illegal aliens above the interests of citizens.
His political ideology.
Yes, this is the People's Republic of Bloomington, right? This is Monroe County. So, this is what we're, and
criminals, criminal illegal aliens.
Right, they're in jail, in his jail. ICE is saying, we're going to come get them. And this is even before Trump, and he's saying, nope. And this is ICE's allegations that I'm carrying forward, saying now that, okay, well, if that's the case, ICE, this fella is operating a sanctuary county, right? You're giving sanctuary to illegal aliens because you're not going to call ICE on them. or you're not going to honor ICE's detention even. And so that's what these cases are about. There's a similar one in St. Joseph's County. That's South Bend, right? Another college town, Notre Dame. And similar things happening up there. Recently, the judge, even in his home county, said, no, we're not going to dismiss Rokita's claim. This is going to go to trial or it's going to get resolved. We want them to comply with the law. And by the way, I didn't just fire up a lawsuit and come on a radio show. We wrote him privately, and just like we did the St. Joseph's County prosecutor, wrote them privately several times saying, hey, your policies and your practices show you're operating a sanctuary city in terms of our interpretation of Indiana law. Please stop.
But then the sheriff down in Monroe County basically says, well, that didn't happen at all, basically calling you a liar.
Then I had to show the letters. Here's the letters that didn't happen. I mean, it's getting kind of ridiculous, but we'll keep fighting it. We'll keep doing our job. The people of Indiana can count on me doing that.
I know we kept you a little longer than you guys want, so thank you so much. Thank you to your staff for coming by. We appreciate it as always. The Attorney General, Todd Rokita, here on the Hammer and Nigel show. Coming right back. Top stories next.
Galaxy Concrete Coatings is the best. They came in and just did recently my utility room in my basement. It's, where the furnace is and a bunch of shelves and storage and get some projects going on down there. But the concrete was just awful, stained, cracked, dirty. And it's an older house. They came in within a day and made it look brand new. And they don't use epoxy. They use something called polyurea, which is a new standard when we're talking about coatings for concrete, whether it's your garage, basement, pool deck, any indoor or outdoor area concrete. Check out their website. See pictures and get a quote, galaxyconcretecoatings.com, or call 751-9070.
When your car is more than just a car, you need more than just a garage. Expert-level automotive service, customization, and care is available for you at GR Brands Campus in Zionsville, home to Graham Rahal Performance and Rahal Paint Protection. From routine maintenance to custom tuning and parts, paint protection film, window tint, and ceramic coating to full-scale custom builds, GR Brands is your all-in-one destination. GR Brands also offers a curated selection of rare supercars when you're ready to elevate your collection. If your passion rests on two wheels, Rahal Power Sports on the GR Brands campus is for you. Featuring Ducati, Piaggio, Vespa, Aprilia, and Moto Guzzi. Whether you're a collector, a casual rider, or a monster on the track, you'll find the service, sales, and support every rider needs. The perfect ride for your lifestyle is waiting at Rahal Power Sports. Start riding or expand and enhance your two-wheel collection today. From the neighborhood to the track, Rahal Power Sports will help you do it with confidence and style. Make every drive and every ride extraordinary. Start now at GrahamRahal.com/GRBrands.
Attention taxpayers. If you or your business owe the IRS back taxes or have years of unfiled tax returns, the IRS has greenlighted billions of dollars in tax relief to those facing financial hardship through its tax relief initiatives. If you have a delinquent tax problem and possibly facing wage garnishment, liens, levies, audits, or already in a payment plan, you may now qualify for significant relief. Qualifying and enrolling in this program could stop all collections, settle your tax problem, and may even reduce what you owe by up to 99%. Call the hotline at TaxPro USA to see if you qualify by dialing 800-554-3122. If you or your business owe at least $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS or state, you can now get the help that you need during these hard economic times. Call TaxPro USA to get your free tax assessment to see what you qualify for by dialing 800-554-3122. 800-554-3122. That's 800-554-3122.
You hear that? That's Mike sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. That's because Mike was smart this time. He took ZQL Ultra to fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs. So now he wakes up refreshed and ready to conquer Mondays.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Summer's in full swing, so come get that hot summer deal at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get $20,000 off select 2024 Lincoln Navigators, plus 0% for 72 months. Or lease a new 2025 Lincoln Corsair for just $499 per month at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Navigator MSRP $110,425. Corsair MSRP $53,915. 3,500 due at lease signing. 0 security deposit. 36 months. 10,500 miles per year. Offers good through 7/31/2025. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at drexelin.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, how much longer the heat will be sticking around in Indiana. The plan for the Indianapolis Colts quarterback situation discussed today at training camp, and a cold case is cold no longer. Those stories and more after Fox News on 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis, and it's now 4 o'clock.
She calls it an attempted coup. Lisa Brady, Fox News. The president's top intelligence official accusing then outgoing President Obama of leading a scheme to undermine the first Trump presidency.
Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard says newly declassified information provides irrefutable evidence that former President Obama and top administration officials manufactured intelligence assessments.
They knew it would promote this contrived narrative that Russia interfered in the 2016 election to help President Trump win, selling it to the American people as though it were true. It wasn't.
Gabbard says intelligence at the time showed Russia did not have a favored candidate.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. Gabbard would not say how previous probes missed the evidence. Obama's office has called the allegations attempted distraction. The man who killed 4 University of Idaho students gets life in prison after the victims' loved ones had a chance to confront him.
He chose destruction. He chose evil. He feels nothing.
One of the surviving roommates, Dylan Mortensen, calling the killer less than human.
Brian Koberger showed no emotion in court in Boise during victim impact statements or when Judge Stephen Hippler called him a coward before sentencing him to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
I remand the defendant to the custody of the Idaho State Board of Corrections for to be imprisoned in an appropriate facility and execution of the sentence where he will remain until he dies.
Koberger pled guilty to the murders of Kaylee Gonsalves, Madison Mogan, Zainer Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin without explaining why in a plea deal that spared him from capital punishment.
Fox's Jeff Manasso. Wall Street rallies. The Dow up 507 at the bell. New highs for the S&P and the NASDAQ as well. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Something you should probably know. A heat advisory is in effect. Also partly cloudy and 88 degrees on Monument Circle. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 4:02. The heat in Indiana has been ramping up lately.
A lot of people don't realize heat is the #1 weather-related killer. Hundreds to thousands of people around the world every year.
Joe Neild with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says Thursday is supposed to be the hottest day of the week, and severe storms could move in after that. A cold case has been solved. State police say DNA evidence helped them find the man who killed Norman Ellerbrook in Gibson County back in 1993. They believe the killer is Timothy Farber. He was arrested on Tuesday. Farber's 61 years old now. Ellerbrook had blunt force trauma to his head and several stab wounds on his body when he died. For a lot of Hoosiers, losing hair is a part of life. Ryan Hedrick talked to some people about that.
Well, I feel for them. I don't have to worry about it myself. I think it's all genetics, but I have a lot of friends that needing some help.
That guy got lucky. The rest of us, myself included, are either losing hair or missing the days when we had it.
My buddies laughed about it because I was in denial. I did the comb over thing, but I always wear a hat.
Over the past year, 88,000 Hoosiers have searched hair loss topics, says Google. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
It's a return to training camp for the Indianapolis Colts. Here's Kevin Bowen.
Day one underway at Grand Park, and it was actually Anthony Richardson getting a few more starting reps than Daniel Jones. The plan for those two in this quarterback competition is to flip-flop that, so even reps as that plays out here in late July. Morning practice Thursday and Friday, late afternoon on Saturday for the Colts before things ramp up next week here in Westfield. Kevin Bowen, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And as for what Indianapolis Colts head coach Shane Steichen had to say about Anthony Richardson's progress.
It's good to see him back out there. We'll have a plan, a maintenance plan for him, as you guys will see. We wanted him to get all the team reps, so you might not see him throw some individual reps every single day, so we're working him back into that.
He says he's happy with the work Richardson put in over the summer. Richardson missed mandatory minicamp with a shoulder injury. It's 4:04, your traffic and weather in 1 minute.
By now, you've heard about IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It's a way to claim your unclaimed property from the Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division. It's not a scam. It's not houses, boats, cars, or storage facilities. It isn't free money. So what exactly is it? It's your money. It belongs to you, and it's waiting for you to claim it. It's money from unclaimed wages or commissions, forgotten bank accounts, underlying shares, refunds, insurance proceeds, stock dividends, safe deposit box contents, overpayments, certificates of deposit, money orders, and more. The Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division safeguards those funds while trying to locate and return those funds to the owner or heir. It's your money, you deserve it, and the Attorney General's office wants to make sure you get it. The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Hammer and Nigel to 46220. That's Hammer and Nigel to 46220. Or visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
With traffic at 4:05, here's Matt Bear.
All right, John, looking at the northeast side, it's northbound 465 at East 71st Street. Stall blocking the right lane, causing stop-and-go traffic back to Penn Pike. That's a delay of 8 minutes. Also on the south side, crash eastbound 465 before I-65. It's on the right shoulder, slowing us down back to I-69 on the south side, delayed at 9 minutes. Inbound 69 slow around 96th Street, and then westbound 465 on the north side, slow from Meridian over to 865. Eastbound 72 down slow from the west side, Belmont into the south split, delayed 3 minutes. Traffic sponsored by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They've teamed up with the Indiana Fever and Common Threads to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies Incorporated. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
The forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
For tonight, mostly clear, muggy air, low temperatures in the lower 70s. And for tomorrow, the entire state under a heat advisory. Heat index values in the afternoon expected to get near 105. Spotty chance at a shower or storm. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
And I'm John Herrick on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there. Today, I hate hearing victim testimony. The families of the victims of the Idaho murderer Brian Kohlberger, who was sentenced to 4 life terms for those Idaho college murders. Should have never been given a plea deal at all.
Should be a death penalty case.
Should be a death penalty case, and even the families of the victims heavily disagreed with the prosecution in this case. But before the sentencing, he was stone-faced as all the victims' families read some impactful statements. One that got me got me choked up was one, and I don't know who she was. I didn't write it down, but I mean she looked at him, and the murderer, this vicious murderer that killed multiple people, said, "I forgive you."
That's powerful.
I forget, I'm sorry, what? And I'm not criticizing her for it. I mean, if you're a practicing Christian, that's the only way to get through something like this. You can't live your life with your heart being filled with darkness and hate and despair for the for the person that wronged you and took the life of an innocent child.
We've heard that on this show when the Blackwell family has came in studio and talked about the SOB that murdered her daughter at FedEx that night. That family with amazing faith has admitted they forgive because of their faith. Listen, I believe in God. I consider myself a Christian. I might not be the best one in the world, but it would be hard for me to forgive somebody for that.
Yeah.
I'd have a real hard time with that. And these victim statements, this is where you can really tell who's a scumbag and who's not.
This, again, the Idaho college murders, this guy, for whatever reason, I still don't know if there's a motive or not, how he snuck into the house and murdered 4 people. Was it 3 or 4? I don't understand what happened, really, in terms of motive.
And I certainly don't understand the plea. All the evidence showed that this was the guy, right? All the evidence was there. The forensics, the cell phone pings, all of it was there. And the family members, they wanted the death penalty. And yet, for some reason, that was taken off the table. He's serving 4 consecutive life terms for the 4 murders that he committed.
The prosecution was saying we wanted to save the families of the victims, the trouble and the, reliving the murders. And they were like, "Hey, man, I've seen all the photos. We've already done it. Let's get this guy.
We want justice now. We'll wait for justice, and sometimes justice takes a while."
4 University of Iowa students in 2022. It's inexplicable to me as to why he did it. I don't get it.
And right before the sentencing, what you'll see in trials, these criminal trials, is the victim's impact statements. That's what it's called, the impact statement. Like when Benjamin Ritchie murdered the police officer in Beech Grove, and the widow was giving her impact statement on what it has meant to her and her family. That scumbag got up, laughed in her face, and called her a bitch. Here today, we didn't get that. We just had a very stone-faced, like just looking off into a, field somewhere look on the face of Brian Coburn.
Well, I mean, if you had the capability to sneak in, he was dating one of the victims, but if you have the ability, the wherewithal, the mental capacity to sneak into rooms while these people were sleeping and stab them with a military-style knife, what else do you expect except a stone face?
Right.
Non-emotional feeling while these families are chastising you or forgiving you or condemning you.
And this case captivated so many people because this was a smart guy. It wasn't like it was some Skid Row reject. This was somebody that had high test scores and just committed heinous acts. And the star of the day today, and I don't know if that's the right word considering what they're talking about, but the sister of Kaylee Goncalves, Olivia is her name. I love this woman. I love Olivia, and I wish one of my kids would marry this young lady. Her statements today, they were powerful. She wasn't scared of the moment, and she looked that scumbag in the court right in the eye, and she lit him up time after time.
Lurking in the shadows made you feel powerful because no one ever paid you any attention in the light. You thought you were exceptional, all because of a grade on a paper. You thought you were elite because your online IQ test from 2010 told you so. All of that effort just to seem important. It's desperate. There is a name for your condition, though. Your inflated ego just didn't allow you to see it. Wannabe. You act like no one could ever understand your mind, but the truth is you're basic. You're a textbook case of insecurity disguised as control. Your patterns are predictable. Your motives are shallow. You are not profound. You're pathetic. You aren't special or deep, not mysterious or exceptional. Don't ever get it twisted again. No one is scared of you today. No one is intimidated by you. No one is impressed by you. No one thinks that you are important. You orchestrated this like you thought you were God. Now look at you, begging a courtroom for scraps.
Yeah. And this was a young lady And she was not scared of this dude at all. She was speaking, I think, for all the families here, and she was just getting started.
The truth is, the scariest part about you is how painfully average you turned out to be. The truth is, you're as dumb as they come. Stupid, clumsy, slow, sloppy, weak, dirty. Let me be very clear. Don't ever try to convince yourself you mattered just because someone finally said your name out loud. I see through you. You want the truth? Here's the one you'll hate the most. If you hadn't attacked them in their sleep, in the middle of the night, like a pedophile, Kaylee would have kicked your f***ing ass.
Boom. Boom. Roasted. I love this girl, man. Wow. I am team Olivia.
And then, like I say, there were other family members of the victims that looked him straight in the eye and said, "I forgive you," which equally is powerful as what we just heard there. I see both sides.
There was one moment where one of the fathers of the victim was speaking at the podium, but the podium wasn't facing Brian. So he takes the podium and he physically turns it around so he can make eye contact and talk directly to Brian. That's what was happening in that courtroom today. These were some pissed off families. Many of them feel like they did not get justice because the death penalty was taken off the table today.
He gets to live. He gets to have 3 squares a day. He gets to read and interact and take in information and think and you know, albeit in a jail cell, but hopefully he is put in general population somewhere. And
absolutely.
Then there was some prison. They call that prison justice.
There was a line about that in one of the speeches today.
Really?
Not even sure we could play it, so I didn't bring you the audio, but there was a reference to what happens in prison today given from one of these family members. All right, Matt Bear, what's going on?
South side crash, eastbound 465 before I-65. 2 right lanes are closed. Traffic is slow back to I-69 on the south side. That's a 19-minute delay. On the northeast side, we had a stall northbound 465 at East 71st. That's cleared. The interstate traffic is still slow back to I-70, delayed for 7 minutes. Eastbound 70. 4-minute delay from Harding into Meridian, Illinois. Inbound 65 looks pretty good around West Street right now. Southbound 6570 is jammed from the north split down to the south split because of construction. That's delayed 5 minutes. Traffic sponsored by Great Lakes Honda of Fishers. Honda of Fishers is now Great Lakes Honda of Fishers under new ownership. Visit them just off State Road 37 for special grand opening prices during their summer sales event. Great Lakes Honda of Fishers. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
One of the comments on the YouTube chat right now in regards to the victim impact statement, I'm not really sure how I understand how being called basic is an insult. It's an insult to Brian Kohberger because he thought he was some genius mastermind. He thought he was better than everybody else. He thought he was some sort of...
He was going to get away with it.
Criminal genius, and his IQ scores and his test scores were higher than anybody else. So that's why that was an insult to that guy. Calling any one of us basic is probably not an insult, but when you do it to somebody that thinks they're smarter than everybody else, that's where the insult comes in. Right now, we are looking at sunshine. It's 88. Heat advisory in effect here at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. A fun round, a spirited round, maybe even a little intoxicated round of Is This Anything is next.
Indiana summer storms are rolling in, and if you're like me, you're not climbing up on your roof to check for damage. That's why you call Moss Roofing. Family-owned. Right here in central Indiana for over 30 years, Moss Roofing gives you something hard to find these days: honest work and peace of mind. They offer free inspections, and I mean a real thorough checkup of your roof, your siding, your gutters, and your windows. If there's storm damage, they'll show you the photos, explain everything clearly and thoroughly, and even work with your insurance company for you. No stress, no pressure, just real professionals doing the job right every single time. Protect your home and avoid bigger problems later. Call Moss Roofing today, 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Cat sent you. 317-747-3665. Family owned, Moss Roofing. 747-3665 or online at Moss, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com.
Attention, Indiana homeowners. Are you tired of avoiding your wet basement? Hi, I'm Mike Smith with Swanco Crawl Space and Basement Repair, your real, local, Indiana family-owned experts. Imagine all the possibilities of a guaranteed dry basement, a cozy new family room, a home gym, or even a new office. And with no interest, no payment financing, you don't have to break the bank to do it. Make the most of your basement today. Call Swanco 317-407-1868 or swancollc.com.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Now through Monday, save an extra 25% off all in-stock outdoor furniture. Sleep up to 10 degrees cooler and the lowest price guaranteed on every mattress. And save up to 50% off Lazy Boy, Smith Brothers, Flex Steel, and lift chairs. Plus, we pay your sales tax and deliver it all for free. Sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
This is the Our Idea is Ready to Launch vision. This is the Create Great Jobs vision. This is the We Need More Space vision. This is Busey, where your business visions become realizations through securing capital for growth and comprehensive strategies that ensure a prosperous future. Because thriving businesses mean thriving people and thriving communities. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
The soundtrack of summer.
Some memories last forever.
A cow says.
Some memories thrill.
This is a roller coaster.
Some memories chill.
Listen to the lemon shake-up.
And new memories are waiting at your Indiana State Fair. Presented by Get Prepared Indiana. Save now on discounted tickets.
You hear that? That's Mike, sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. That's because Mike was smart this time. He took ZQL Ultra to fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs. So now he wakes up refreshed and ready to conquer Mondays.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hi, this is Zach from Ingledow Tree Experts. When it comes to the health and beauty of your trees, trust Ingledow Tree Experts. Our certified arborists ensure your trees are trimmed, removed, and cared for with precision. Summer is the perfect time to schedule fall pruning. Call now for your free estimate and let us handle the hard work. 317-903-0102 or visit ingledowtreeexperts.com for more information. Ingledow Tree Experts, where your trees come first.
Fill your tank. Don't drain your wallet. Sam's Club lets you save time at the pump with Scan and Go checkout at Sam's Club fuel stations. Just scan the QR code on the pump and pay. Visit your local Sam's Club today.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Pierce Jewelers and Carmel, designers of fine custom jewelry.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Brought to you by Indiana Unclaimed, a program presented by the Attorney General's office here in Indiana, reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every single week. Fast, easy, and free to search at indianaunclaimed.gov.
Is this anything? The city of Toronto is making their fair inspectors, F-A-R-E, not talking about like carnies at the, local fairs, fair inspectors look more official. They have a new gray uniform and new titles. They're now called Provincial Offenses Officers.
Okay.
POO. Poo inspectors. Here are a couple of residents talking about the poo inspectors of Toronto.
I don't think that was necessary to change. I don't know why they would change it exactly.
I would change it immediately if I were the person doing that. That's a really weird acronym to have, especially if you're like saying that out loud too and like so proud of it. Like I would not do that.
Yeah, I was just thinking, if you're on a dating site in Toronto and your job is a poo inspector and you're like online dating, I don't know that I'd put that on there, because that's an immediate disqualification.
You're on that first date. What do you do for a living? I work in retail. What do you do? I'm a poo inspector, honey. Oh.
These guys, I looked up what a poo inspector does. They maintain public safety and compliance. It's like they're like red tape people. They make sure that, you know, there's bylaw infractions that aren't being traffic violations. And so they rebranded, and like, honestly, somebody, POO.
Right.
Provincial Offenses Officers. Could they have not have seen that coming at all in Toronto? Is there no sense of humor? Right? Like, somebody with a sense of humor would have looked at that and said, nah, maybe we should call it something else.
Right. Like the Immigration's Custom Enforcement, they got a cool acronym.
ICE.
They're ICE. I work at ICE. What do you do? I'm a poo inspector. I work with poo. Is this anything? An electrical engineer named Patrick Schlott is pitching in by fixing up old payphones and installing them in spots with no cell service in parts of rural Vermont.
Oh, that's cool.
He also pays for the phone lines so they're free for people to use. Here's Patrick talking about his idea and a man who owns a store featuring one of these old school payphones.
The phone thing kind of came along by accident. Found an old piece of phone equipment in the garage. Partially inspired by other projects that were doing exactly the same thing, putting payphones out in public spaces and making them free. But it was also driven by living in rural Vermont for a period of time and knowing that, wow, we have no cell service out here.
Everyone's pretty surprised, and they're like, is that a real payphone? Does that really work? And I'm like, yeah, but it doesn't cost any money now. We have had people use it that broke down. It's a great thing because, you know, service is so spotty in Vermont.
I think this is something. I think that's pretty cool. Are they the actual booths? Like when you step into and like when Ron Burgundy was in a glass case of emotion,
right?
After his dog got kicked off the bridge by Jack Black,
right? Superman turning into Superman in there.
Yeah. Are those? Is there anyone in Central Indy? Is there a payphone anywhere located that you know of in Central Indy? YouTube chat at Hammer and Nigel on X, Facebook. Is there a working payphone that you know of in this city?
Man.
I can't think of anywhere there would be one, but is there? Is my question. I mean, maybe like at a bus stop or something, like a bus depot.
And if there were, how many people know how to operate it? Like, would you have the change? Do you know how to use it?
Is it still a quarter?
I don't know. There used to be a payphone by the Burger King near Beech Grove High School. And when I was in school in the late 90s, like, one, that was near Smokers Hill, where everybody would go smoke before school. And two, whenever we'd have a bomb threat called into school, I'm guaranteeing you it came from that payphone near the Burger King.
Sure as hell did.
Let us know on the YouTube chat.
I'm just curious if there is a working payphone somewhere in the city, or are they all gone?
It's interesting. This was probably about 10 years ago. My youngest took a field trip in school, and they went to like a fire station, and they had like an old payphone nearby. This was like 10 years ago. None of the kids knew what it was. Like, they had no idea.
Wow.
Like, what is that? Is that a bathroom? No, it's you go in there and you make a phone call. Where's the port? Where do you charge? You don't charge. It's connected.
Okay, Rexy on the YouTube chat. They usually have them at the jails when they get released.
Oh.
When prisoners get released.
Okay.
This is from Ninja 303. My neighbor has one in his backyard that works in Martinsville. His backyard? What does that mean?
He stole the one from the Burger King and he put it in his backyard.
This is from D. Marshall. There used to be a payphone at the Speedway on East Washington a few years ago. Thanks for that. I appreciate that.
MLM Warrior. I think the third floor of the State House might have a payphone. I'm not sure. That's our challenge. If anybody is in Indy,
take a picture of it.
Right. Take a picture at the payphone and see if it still works. Do a little research for us and get back here at the Hammer and Nigel show. Last one. Is this anything? A woman is speaking out after she said a grocery delivery driver inappropriately grabbed and kissed her during a delivery in California. Here's Sabrina breaking it all down.
There are people that have been through things that maybe you don't always fight back because you're scared. He deeply gazed into my eyes and had marks. So it's it almost felt like it was a control over me or something. I don't want to beat myself up for freezing because I should have said, stop, this is making me uncomfortable. But I just didn't know what to do and I froze.
Well, I hope she called the police. I don't have the story right in front of me, but yeah, the guy probably deserves to go to jail and be fired from whatever service he's working for. That's the only thing I have. The only issue, we do all delivery. We do groceries. We do Amazon Prime. We do Costco, everything delivery now. You never know who's coming. Uber, for that matter. You're right. We were talking about this the other day. Yeah, great. So we know our Uber's name. We know the name of the person that could be kidnapping us right now.
Right.
You know, it was unusual. We had a delivery driver drop off something, and he was walking through our yard, and we were out there with the puppy, trying to get him to poop. And the guy turns around and goes, and he was the nicest guy in the world, and he was a delivery driver. He goes, man, you guys got a nice house. What do you do for a living? Which it kind of caught us off guard just a little bit. Like a random stranger just asked us, what do you do for a living? And my wife's like, I'm in sales, he's in radio. And he never heard of the Hammer and Nigel show, but he's like, oh, so you're famous. And I'm like, well, I'm not famous, but people listen to our show. And there are apparently people on TikTok and Amazon drivers and stuff like that when they deliver packages and the homeowners are home, they ask them what they do for a living. And I couldn't decide whether it was strange or endearing.
Should have just lied.
Maybe he was
human trafficking.
Well, have you ever heard of the cartels? I work in that line of. I work in that industry.
I'm El Chapo's attorney. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Lately, the market has been making some big moves, and not all in the right direction. If you've been watching the numbers and wondering what it all means for your retirement, you're not alone. At Howard Bailey Financial, we plan for times like this. The truth is, a volatile day on Wall Street can feel a lot different when you're getting closer to retirement. That's why right now is the right time to take a fresh look at your portfolio, and Howard Bailey can help. Are you taking on more risk than you realize? Are you diversified in a way that makes sense for where you are in life? Find out today with the help of our free Market Volatility Guide. Visit retirewithpurpose.com to download your free guide and learn more about what market shifts may mean for you. That's retirewithpurpose.com. Together, let's make sure your plan is built to weather whatever comes next. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Citizens, since we each upgraded to Xfinity in our homes, the Wi-Fi has been booming. It's fair to say our town has officially become a boomtown.
Mayor, will I be able to drop into multiplayer gaming battles with low lag?
The lag won't be an issue, but your questionable skills may be.
And what if I have hundreds of devices on the Wi-Fi? Purely hypothetical.
Seems like a lot, but sure, hundreds of devices all booming together with the Xfinity Gateway. Yes, friends and neighbors, with Xfinity, the Wi-Fi is booming.
The Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Now get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best-in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed. All in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract. All with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with X5 Complete required for unlimited data except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs From voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery. So he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's not just heat advisories and bad air quality. You've got a heat advisory in effect right now. Partly cloudy and 91 in downtown Indy. I'm John Herrick. This report is brought to you by Moss Roofing. Here's what's trending at 4:33. Severe weather could also hit Indiana later this week.
This is certainly a pattern that can be conducive to damaging winds. You know, we get into this part of the year when we get an upper-level ridge off to our west, and we're kind of in this northwest flow pattern.
Joe Neild with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis believes tomorrow will be the hottest and most humid day, with highs in the mid-90s and heat indexes topping 105. President Trump saying this week that Indiana will get more than $15 million to help various areas in the state recover from flooding, tornadoes, and more that happened during the month of April. Trump saying on social media that he's confident in Governor Mike Braun's leadership. Brian Kohberger was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole today for killing 4 college students in Idaho back in 2022. One of the girls he killed was Kaylee Gonsalves. Her sister Olivia looked right at Kohberger and said the following in court this afternoon.
You wanted so badly to be different, to be special, to be better, to be deep, to be mysterious. You found yourself thinking you were better than everyone else, and you thought you could figure out the human psyche and see through it, all while tweaked out on heroin.
Kohberger kept looking forward, and he never made eye contact with any of the victims. A Wisconsin girl missing since Sunday was found dead today.
And it has been identified as 22-year-old Elliot Hines. She was found in the Mississippi River, roughly 10 miles downstream from La Crosse, Wisconsin. She was last seen in a bar called Broncos downtown about 2:30 in the morning. She left to walk home. 15 minutes later, security camera recorded her walking past the river. And until her body was found, the only trace that they had found of Elliot, the mother said that her cell phone was found. But she was 22 years old. She was a graduate student at the local university studying mental health.
That's Fox's Mike Tobin reporting. Back in Indiana, Peru Community Schools plans to renovate several buildings, including Blair Point and Elmwood Elementary Schools, Peru Junior Senior High School, and the old junior high. The total cost of that project is estimated to be about $17.5 million. Administrators say renovations will focus on upgrading learning areas, addressing maintenance, and improving interior spaces. Work on the project is not supposed to begin, though, until at least 2026. And your closing bell report, the Dow Jones closing above 45,000, the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ both hitting record highs. President Trump announcing a trade deal with Japan certainly helped. At the closing bell today, the Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 507 points to 45,010. The S&P 500 rose by 49 points to 6358, and the NASDAQ gained 127 points to 21,020. It's 4:36. You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
When people think sleep apnea, they think CPAP. Now at Advent, we do all we can to help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine. And most sleep apnea sufferers who come to Advent are going to be able to avoid a CPAP altogether. Our unique Advent approach using simple in-office solutions can get your nose working and throat open all under one roof. You see, the root of every snoring and obstructive sleep apnea problem lies within the throat, nose, or both. At Advent, we know when we get the nose and throat working properly, most snoring and sleep apnea problems will subside. And we have the most simple and convenient, ultra-effective in-office solutions that can do just that. And this is why people have traveled by planes, trains, and automobiles from corners of the world you would never think of to find the sleep apnea and snoring relief you won't find elsewhere.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Traffic at 437. Here's Matt Bear.
All right, John, south side eastbound 465. Stop and go traffic from I-69 to I-65 because of an earlier crash that has cleared, delayed at 23 minutes. Eastbound 70 grinding into the south split from Belmont. That's a 5-minute delay on the south end of downtown. Downtown southbound 6570 jammed up from the north split to the south split for an 8-minute delay. On the east side, crash southbound 465 between Penn Pike and I-70. It blocks the left shoulder. Slow after that from I-70 down to Brookville Road. And on the northwest side, northbound 465. Stop and go traffic from 79th to 865. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at DrexelIN.com. Visit DrexelIN.com for your free interior design or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Your American Standard Cooling Weather Center forecast.
We are going to really turn up the heat Thursday. 95 degrees is the high temperature with winds out of the southwest helping trying to cool us down at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies, so a little shade outside from clouds as well. However, with the humidity involved, we're going to feel like we're over 100 degrees in the afternoon hours. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Drew Narsutis, 493 WIBC.
And I'm Sean Herrick on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hammer, what is Polymarket?
Polymarket is a service that kind of looks at all the overseas bets and kind of puts them into an average, right? So think about what like some of these polling companies do here in America. Like they take all of these polls and they come up with an average. Over in the UK, Polymarket does that with like sports betting and gambling stuff.
Offshore odds makers.
Yes.
So we're not allowed in the United States to bet on the outcomes of elections.
Some places are. It was passed through a lower court. I think there may be some legal stuff holding it back right now. By the time 2028 rolls around, you might be able to gamble on elections in this country. But it's not really picking up steam yet. Now, in the UK, though, and like some of these offshore sports betting accounts, you can gamble on American politics, sure.
Okay, so what is Polymarket saying about the 2028 presidential race? I can't believe we're... Like, how much of a chance does Trump have to win 2028?
Well, we'll get to that, okay? We'll get to that. So, again, Polymarket, they take an average of all the sports betting options, and they have J.D. Vance as the favorite to win 2028, but just at 28%. He's the clubhouse leader. Followed by Gavin Newsom at 14%. AOC and Pete Buttigieg tied at 11%. Rubio at 6%. Shapiro of Pennsylvania at 5%. And then AOC and Donald Trump coming in at 4%.
Even though Trump is termed out, he often makes... I love it when he wears Trump 2028 hats. I don't know that he wears them, but they're definitely being sold as Trump 2028 because that's the big fear that Trump is going to run for more than 2 terms.
Don Jr. shared this report from Polymarket on social media, Donald Trump Jr., and he writes, quote, LOL, my dad has equal odds as Kamala for 2028. So it's just as likely there will be a constitutional amendment to add a 3rd term as it is for Kamala and AOC to win a national election after being the party's chosen ones.
Yeah, I didn't even see Kamala in these odds.
Yeah, she's under 4%. I think she's at 3%.
Ooh.
And AOC's at 4%.
So who's it going to be? Who's going to be? Oh, all right, let's narrow it down. Who's going to be the Democratic nominee for 2028? Who's going to win that primary? Who are people going to vote to run for president as a Democrat?
I've said that because he's a media darling, and the media will do everything they can to pick up this guy and carry him across the finish line, like the final scene in An Officer and a Gentleman. Love lifts us up where we belong. Pete Buttigieg. He's gay. He's been in the military. He's been a crappy mayor, but we don't want to talk about that. He was a disaster as a transportation secretary. We don't want to talk about that. Did you know he was gay? Did you know he was in the military? Like, it's Seth Meyers' buddy. And keep in mind, he did win Iowa.
I'm Seth Meyers' buddy.
He won Iowa. He won New Hampshire. And then he was voluntold, hey, drop out so we can give it to Biden. We think we can get Biden across the finish line in 2020.
It's Newsom. Gavin Newsom for 2028.
I don't know, man.
Look, the Democrats are the party of identity politics, and we always talk about how it's got to be somebody of a different gender, a different race, but they had a lot of diversity before Biden. They put Biden up in 2020. A lot of diversity on those debate stages, and it turned out to be the old white guy.
Right.
So, while they are, I believe, the party of gender and race and identity politics, it's going to be another white guy. It's going to be another.
But what if we could make that white guy gay? Oh, there you go.
He just doesn't have as much experience as Gavin Newsom does as ruining a state.
What Pete Buttigieg is going to encounter.
He had a very average transportation secretary career, by the way, in the Biden administration.
And let's not ignore the elephant in the room. There are still a lot of demographics, Southern voters, folks in inner cities that are not going to vote for Pete Buttigieg because of his sexuality. That's just based on what the numbers show, right? There's a lot of folks in the inner cities and in the South that ain't going to vote for Pete Buttigieg.
A lot of white women.
White women love him.
Where are the white women at?
Seth Meyers loves him. Media loves him. But I think he can get across the finish line for the Dems, but I don't think he can win a general. But I would say the same thing about Gavin Newsom. The wild card here, and I know she's only at 4%, according to Polymarket, is AOC. Because she is a fundraising machine. She can snap her fingers and get millions of dollars.
I mean, she can, but you look at the communist socialist dude that's running for mayor in New York City. You look at the guy that's running for mayor, this Somali guy that's running for mayor in somewhere in, is it Minneapolis? Those guys have a good chance of winning. So I don't know if that translates into a nationwide vote, but there's certainly pockets of this country that are voting very far left, progressive, socialist people into. I mean, the Squad, for God's sake.
Right.
They're already here.
She's a brand.
Yeah.
She is a brand. People know who she is. She's great at raising money. And whether you agree with her or not, she's charismatic. You might think she's an idiot. Chances are you're right.
God, every time I hear her talk, it's every TikTok video I've ever hated in my life. It sounds like that, she has that high-pitched.
Right.
Well, I'm not going to get into it right now, but I just, she sounds like a TikTok video every time she talks. Maybe that's the idea. Maybe that's the idea. Maybe that's who she's talking to.
The best candidate they can throw up there is probably Shapiro. But the Democrat Party would then have to say we're voting for a Jewish guy. And they've kind of made it perfectly clear.
Boy, free Palestine.
They're Team Palestine.
From the river to the sea. We can't have a Jew guy running for president.
Even though he's qualified and young and everything we're looking for, unfortunately, he's Jewish.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Sorry, bud.
I can see the DNC pulling him aside. Can you renounce your faith? Because if you could do that, boo, we are home free. Do us a favor right now. Go to that WIBC YouTube chat. It's on WIBC's YouTube page. We need about 40 more people to give us a thumbs up, to give us a like. That gets us to 100. So if you are ready to have a great night tonight, if you want to come home tonight and have hot, sexy celebrities naked in your kitchen,
cool.
The first step to making that happen is clicking the thumbs up on WIBC's live YouTube stream of this show tonight. Do it right now. Help us to get to 100. That's all we're asking for. Plus, it gets the digital department off of our ass. And if you've ever wanted to have a young person shut up, you know what we're going through here. So, WIBC's YouTube chat, give us a like, give us a thumbs up. Old people sticking together. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Summer's in full swing, so come get that hot summer deal at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get $20,000 off select 2024 Lincoln Navigators, plus 0% for 72 months. Or lease a new 2025 Lincoln Corsair for just $499 per month at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Navigator MSRP $110,425. Corsair MSRP $53,915. $3,500 due at lease signing. 0 security deposit. 36 months. 10,500 miles per year. Offers good through 7/31/2025. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Mike loves summer in Indy, but he hates to paint. So he called Rhino Shield.
Our home is basically a contemporary, and we just started noticing that the paint was just fading and just looked like garbage. We had received a postcard from Rhino Shield, and we decided to take a look at it.
Rhino Shield's formulated for our specific climate here in Indiana.
The process with Rhino Shield and their crew, they were just very conscientious. We had problems in the past with painters. They leave debris and everything. Well, we didn't have that with Rhino Shield.
Way better than paint, backed by a 25-year warranty. And right now, get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 10% off the regular price.
The thing about the Rhino Shield, the heat gain has been reduced, and we save $70 a month. You don't hear that about any type of paint.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
At Andy Moore Ford just keep on coming. The red, white, and new sales event. Get independence from car payments with no payments for 3 months and enjoy your freedom in the new Ford F-150 Super Crew or that absolutely amazing Ford Mustang with 0% APR financing for 48 months. Save $15,000. That's $15,000 off MSRP on new 2024 F-150s or Expeditions, or buy a new Ford Super Duty truck for under $40,000. Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield is your spot for all the Super Duty trucks. They've got 175 trucks to choose from right there on the lot at Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield. And with more to your door, simply purchase your vehicle online and they'll deliver it to your door. Andy Moore Ford, 2713 East Main Street in Plainfield, or online at andymoreford.com. That's M-O-H-R.
I love Andy.
andymoreford.com.
Hear that? That's the sound of a perfect weekend. But you've got weeds. Thankfully, you've also got a secret weapon, Spruce. The new, hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in 1 day. So you can get back to doing what you love. Try Spruce. Wherever weed killers are sold.
From marshmallow festivals to fireworks on the shore. No matter where you're headed this summer, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. During Hubler's Freedom to Drive, shop any of our 13 locations and choose from Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and more. Over 2,000 vehicles. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Plus, every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report.
'Cause Hubler's got you covered.
No matter where you're headed this summer, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles during our Freedom to Drive. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Buying a diamond has changed. There are mined and lab-grown diamonds. Pierce Jewelers carries both. Pierce can educate you and save your hard-earned money. Shop local. Shop smart. Shop Pierce Jewelers.
The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Hammer and Nigel to 46220 or visit indianaunclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at drexelin.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
Addiction doesn't just affect one person, it touches everyone around them. That's why Matt Baer and Ryan Hedrick created the Supporting Sobriety podcast. It's for the friends and family standing behind, offering hope, guidance, and real talk. Listen now wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, Matt Baer, what's up?
And we're looking at the east side, southbound 465 between Penn Pike and I-70, crash on the left shoulder. Then we have stop-and-go traffic down to Brookville Road. Looking at downtown southbound 6570, it's jammed up from the north split down to South Keystone Avenue. That's a delay of 13 minutes. Eastbound 70 jammed from Belmont into the south split. Inbound 65 stop-and-go traffic 21st to Meridian Penn, and northwest side northbound 465 grinding for 79th up to a 65. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at DrexelIN.com. Visit DrexelIN.com for your free interior design or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
It's a hot one, 90 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Uh-oh. Vastly different songs there.
I asked Allison to play some Ozzy music coming out of the break, and I don't know what was
Something
that?
from Rubio's Bathhouse.
It was the happy birthday song we were playing for Jeff Boggs' dog yesterday.
Okay. Lots of pouring out of, lots of tributes, lots of people commenting about the death of Ozzy Osbourne yesterday. Happened right before our show Hammer yesterday. Alice Cooper dedicated his concert last night to Ozzy. Alice is getting up there, but man, I saw Alice Cooper with Motley Crue a few years ago. Alice Cooper still got it, man. He's killer. And here's Alice and his band before the show and his comments on social media after the show.
For us tonight.
Ozzy on 3. 1, 2, 3. Ozzy!
Well, we all know that time is going to take us rockers, but when the giants fall, it's really hard to accept, even though, everybody saw it coming with Ozzy. It took our breath away when it happened. So Ozzy and family, your music and your legend, the humor, all that you brought to the rock business will live on forever, and we're going to miss you, Matt.
So when this broke yesterday, Nigel, and I heard you guys talking about it yesterday, I got a text from a buddy of mine, used to play football at Purdue. He's a black guy. He sent me a text. I'm just checking in on my whites to make sure you guys are all okay. For you guys, this is probably like when Tupac died for us.
I disagree with Alice Cooper. We were all expecting it. I mean, he just had a hugely profitable concert. His last ever, the Black Sabbath, hundreds of millions of dollars raised for charity. I know he had Parkinson's, but I don't know that I was, quote unquote, expecting it. So there might be something there for that. I don't know.
Just checking in on the whites.
The whites are fine.
Okay. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement?
I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay,
Ooh,
deep breath.
High five.
You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years at gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked.
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years.
Woo!
The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm? Totally natural.
Sweet! Thank you! Thank you! High five, everybody! High five!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five!
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25. New customers only. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9379. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9379. That's 800-575-9379. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Life doesn't stand still, and neither do your goals. At Busey Bank, we're here to help you move forward with the financial tools, local support, and expert guidance you need to take your next step. Whether you're growing a business, leaving a legacy, or saving for the future, you'll have a team that's ready when you are. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
You ready to build your custom dream home? Check out Joyner Homes based out of Greenfield. See one of their model homes in person anytime. It is a great way for you to experience the customization and quality of a Joyner Homes custom built home. Plus, you can meet with a new home specialist to learn about their building process. Available lots if you don't already have one. Find out about floor plans and where they build. Model homes are open 7 days a week from noon to 5 and walk-ins are welcome. Find out more at joynerhomes.com.
What if one day could change the trajectory of your life? A sharpening of character, a challenge to grow deeper, stand stronger, and lead better in faith, family, and purpose. At the Life Church Men's Event on Saturday, August 2nd, you'll hear raw truth from men who've been through the fire. You'll worship, connect, and leave with more than inspiration. You'll leave with a battle plan. Show up, lean in, let God do the rest. Register at lifechurchin.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, just how hot will it get in Indiana and could severe weather be coming? You'll hear what forecasters have to say about that, what President Trump says he's doing to help Hoosiers, and what Hoosiers have to say about hair loss and their search history. Those stories and much more coming up after Fox News Radio. You are listening to 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
He'll die in prison. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Sentencing day for the man who killed 4 University of Idaho students in 2022.
Count 2, first-degree murder of Madison Mogan. I sentenced the defendant to a fixed term of life imprisonment without the possibility of parole.
District Judge Stephen Hippler giving Brian Koberger a life sentence for each victim after the killer sat nearly motionless and expressionless as loved ones wept through impact statements, some calling Koberger a coward.
You orchestrated this like you thought you were God. Now look at you, begging a courtroom for scraps.
The sister of Kaylee Goncalves telling him he's a pathetic wannabe. Koberger did not make a statement. He waived his right to appeal under the plea deal that spared him a possible death sentence. In Wisconsin, a missing grad student is found dead. The body of Elliot Hines pulled out of the Mississippi River about 10 miles downstream from where she went missing Sunday in La Crosse.
She was last seen in a bar called Broncos downtown about 2:30 in the morning. She left to walk home. 15 minutes later, security camera recorded her walking past the river. And until her body was found, the only trace that they had found of Elliot, the mother said that was that her cell phone was found. But she was 22 years old. She was a graduate student at the local university studying mental health.
Fox's Mike Tobin, her cause of death still under investigation. The White House and Justice Department dismissing a Wall Street Journal report that President Trump was told in May his name is in the Jeffrey Epstein files. DOJ says the president was briefed on the finding that no further investigation or prosecution was warranted, also emphasizing the administration's efforts to unseal records related to the late sex offender. Today, a judge in Florida ruling transcripts of grand jury investigations could not be released. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's only going to go up from here. Partly cloudy and 89 degrees with a clear radar. A heat advisory is also in effect. I'm John Herrick, and this report is brought to you by Moss Roofing. Here's what's trending at 5:02. If you think today is hot, just wait until tomorrow.
Similar, maybe slightly higher numbers tomorrow around 93. It's really that dew point that's going to be ramping up the discomfort. By the time we get to tomorrow, we're looking at dew points in the mid-70s, 75, 76.
Joe Neild with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says storm chances remain low until late Thursday, and then scattered showers and storms are more likely Friday and Saturday. A little more than $15 million. That's how much money President Trump says he's giving to Indiana to provide financial help to Hoosiers impacted by severe weather that hit the state back in April. Governor Braun thanked the president for his help. Indianapolis Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson has battled shoulder problems and other ailments throughout his young NFL career, but at training camp today, he said he's feeling great.
I just feel like it's with anything, you constantly do something, all the time, just like a shooter playing basketball, constantly putting up jump shots. Your shoulder's going to be a little sore from all that work, but I'm ready now, and I'm ready to go.
The Colts practice again tomorrow morning at 10 at Grand Park in Westfield. A man was murdered in Gibson County back in the early 1990s, but police say the man responsible for the murder is now in custody. Norman Ellerbrook was killed in 1993. His head was badly beaten, and he had been stabbed several times. State police and the FBI decided to recently look at that case again, and it was DNA evidence that they say led them to arrest Timothy Farber of Evansville. Farber was arrested just after 4 o'clock Tuesday afternoon and taken to the Gibson County Jail. Are you having trouble with hair loss? Ryan Hedrick reports on how it's affecting those in Indiana.
And most of those treatments are probably unnatural.
That guy is talking about a treatment called finasteride. That's one of the 88,000 search topics Google generated when Hoosiers looked how to get their hair back.
I need it myself.
This 80-year-old man says he's never had a hair loss problem.
Well, damn it, he looks like a girl. Go to the barber shop and cut all his hair off. She took me to the barber shop, and the barber said, well...
He is one of the lucky ones. Reporting from downtown Indianapolis, Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
It's 5:04. Your traffic and weather next.
Indiana summer storms are rolling in, and if you're like me, you're not climbing up on your roof to check for damage. That's why you call Moss Roofing. Family-owned. Right here in central Indiana for over 30 years, Moss Roofing gives you something hard to find these days. Honest work and peace of mind. They offer free inspections, and I mean a real thorough checkup of your roof, your siding, your gutters, and your windows. If there's storm damage, they'll show you the photos, explain everything clearly and thoroughly, and even work with your insurance company for you. No stress, no pressure, just real professionals doing the job right every single time. Protect your home and avoid bigger problems later. Call Moss Roofing today. 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-747-3665. Family owned Moss Roofing. 747-3665 or online at Moss. M-O-S-S. MossRoofing.com.
WIBC traffic at 5:05. Here's Matt Bear.
Yeah, John, Lawrence East Side, northbound 465 crash between Penn Pike and I-70. It blocks the left lane. After that, slow traffic down to I-74. Inbound 70 stop and go from Rural Street to the North Split. Southbound 65 slow from 21st to Meridian Penn. And downtown southbound 65 70 stop North Split to the South Split. That construction delay of 26 minutes. Eastbound 70 10-minute delay from Tibbs Avenue to Meridian, Illinois. On the northwest side, northbound 65 stop and go from 465 up to 86. Northbound 465 slows from 79th up to 865. A report of down power lines on the west side. This is 10th Street at Girls School Road. Traffic sponsored by Great Lakes Honda of Fishers. Honda of Fishers is now Great Lakes Honda of Fishers under new ownership. Visit them just off State Road 37 for special grand opening prices during their summer sales event. Great Lakes Honda of Fishers. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
The forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Making our way into our Wednesday night, get ready for a stray thunderstorm possible, but likely just some partly cloudy skies with a low temperature around 75 degrees outside, winds out of the south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Moving into Thursday, it's going to be a very hot one with partly cloudy skies, a high temperature around 95, and feels like temperatures likely in the triple digits. Winds out of the southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. The evening hours could hold a chance for a few showers after midnight. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Drew Narsutis for 93 WIBC.
And
Stay cool.
And I'm John Herrick on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
Yeah, the guy that murdered 4 Idaho college students in their sleep was sentenced to 4 life terms. They should have never given Brian Kohlberger a plea deal. This is all happening today. Victims' families' testimonies today in the courtroom before they sentenced him. We all knew what the sentence was going to be. It wasn't going to be death. They took that off the table.
Against the family's wishes.
Most of the families, yeah. And I don't understand. Their excuse was we didn't want to put the families through more trouble through a trial. We took the plea deal. The plea deal didn't involve the death penalty. We didn't want to put them through the trauma. And they're like, and some of the families were like, of the victims were like, man, we've seen the photos.
Right. We want justice.
We want justice. We want this guy, this psychopath, this sociopath, this subhuman who was able to go into a home. He was dating one of the victims and kill people in their sleep with a military-style knife. Was he on drugs at the time? I heard one of the people that was addressing him today saying he was high on heroin. I don't. It doesn't matter really. Just the fact that you're capable of something like that, under the influence or not, is just you got to go. You got to be put down like a dog.
I agree.
To be put down.
You listen to those victim impact statements today. That's not a group that's happy with what's happening. That's a group that's pissed off that this guy, even though he's going to be behind bars, is going to be fed. He's going to be given a shower every day until he dies.
He can read books and watch TV.
Right. He can do all of that.
Hopefully he is released into the general population of whatever facility he will be incarcerated in.
And what was wild today is before the sentencing, we got the impact statements from the family members of the victims. And this was televised. I mean, this was captivating television. They allowed cameras in the courtroom, and this was just must-see TV as one by one, family members were going up and just roasting this dude, rightfully so. Here is the sister of one of the victims.
The truth is, the scariest part about you is how painfully average you turned out to be. The truth is, you're as dumb as they come. Stupid, clumsy, slow, sloppy, weak, dirty. Let me be very clear. Don't ever try to convince yourself you mattered just because someone finally said your name out loud. I see through you. You want the truth? Here's the one you'll hate the most. If you hadn't attacked them in their sleep, in the middle of the night, like a pedophile, Kaylee would have kicked your f***ing ass.
Boom. Very passionate victim impact statement by the sister of one of the victims.
And then one of the other family members looked at him and said, I forgive you. And if you have any questions for me, I have questions for you, contact me. I'll give you my phone number, which was equally as powerful as what you just heard right there. I forgive you.
It takes a special person to offer forgiveness. And we know some people that have forgiven the person that's killed a loved one. And it takes a special, strong brand of faith to do that. I don't know if I could do that. I'll be the first to admit.
Yeah.
I hold grudges pretty bad. Not very Christian of me, I know, but boy,
But that's how evil. That's like if you follow the Christian faith, that's how evil. That's how the devil gets a hold of you. That's how he gets a grip on you. Is like, look, you can ask for forgiveness for your own sins, but the despair and the hopelessness. That's how the devil gets the grip on you. And sometimes people can't climb out of that hole. And I know people that haven't. And it affected them in such a way where it ended their lives as well.
Nigel, would you like to hear from an idiot?
Oh, sure.
So on The View, Sunny Hostin, she was talking about how Stephen Colbert's program has been canceled.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about this with Tony Kinnett when he comes up here at about 20 minutes from now. But Sunny Hostin feels like the cancellation of Stephen Colbert's program could lead to the dismantling of our Constitution.
My concern is if it is political, then everyone should be concerned. People on the right should be concerned. People on the left should be concerned. Because it's very clear that if it is political, this is the dismantling of our democracy. This is the dismantling of our Constitution, right?
Who are those idiots clapping?
And who are these idiots that are saying it's the, equating Colbert and the Late Show brand disappearing? They're equating that with the dismantling of the Constitution because Colbert was losing $40 million a year and had 200 staff members and was making $16 million a year and was criticizing his own network for settling with Donald Trump. A lot of people compared that. I heard some comparisons of Colbert. Well, he was criticizing his network, but Letterman criticized his network all the time. It was playful when Letterman did it.
Letterman had an average of 7 million viewers a night.
Yeah.
Colbert, 2.1.
There was a point where you could have political satire in late night and it be bipartisan and funny.
Right.
It wasn't bipartisan and funny with these guys. It's not with any of them.
Letterman was a super lefty at the end. Let's not get it twisted.
At the end, he was.
But you watch his show, he didn't have Adam Schiff as a guest for like 2 segments. He had Jennifer Aniston. He had, bands perform. He had comedians come on. He had top 10 lists. He did bits.
Adam Schiff, the senator from California who is a pencil neck, as
2 segments. 2 segments with Adam Schiff.
And he was the one that put out a social media post that said, if this is political, we need to look into this. Okay.
It's political because Stephen Colbert made it that way. He stopped trying to be funny. He stopped trying to be an entertainer and just became somebody that wanted to be invited to the fundraisers. He wanted to be invited to the parties. Letterman, again, super leftist. And in no way am I saying that, Letterman's going to be a champion of the right. But the way Letterman did it, yes, he made fun of the Republicans, but then he would have on, the Indy 500 champion. He would have on other guests, and it was a show. It wasn't just a rally.
But if you were running a business and the guy you were paying $16 million to that had 200 people on his staff that were losing $40 million a year, I mean, what, like a basic businessman would say, something needs to change here.
Right.
The whole, and the whole Late Show brand has disappeared.
You ruined everything Letterman built up. Because Letterman was the late night guy.
Yes.
Johnny Carson had the Tonight Show. But late night, when you think of that term, that's David Letterman.
It's disappearing. Colbert's not being replaced.
Right.
They're going just with completely different programming. I don't know what they're going to do.
But I think I texted you and Guy on Monday, though. Okay, the WNBA doesn't look so bad all of a sudden because you had an entire league, tons of different people that lost $40 million. CBS had one guy that was responsible for losing $40 million. All of a sudden, the WNBA doesn't look so bad. Matt Bear.
All right, fellas, looking at westbound 70 going to northbound 65. This is a stall on the exit ramp with stop-and-go traffic back to rural. On the east side, southbound 465 between Penn Pike and I-70. That's a crash blocking the left lane. Stop-and-go traffic after that to South Shadelet Avenue. Looking at eastbound 70 out of the north split slow to Rural Street, and then southbound 65 70 stopped from the north split to the south split, delayed 11 minutes. Inbound 65 stop and go before 21st to Meridian Penn, and eastbound 70 jammed up from Tibbs Avenue into the south split. That is a delay of 10 minutes. Traffic sponsored by Advance Auto Parts. This is how we advance. Meet Joey Logano July 25th, 5:30 p.m. at Advance Auto Parts and Speedway. First 100 fans get a photo, plus Coda Ice, games, and more. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Heat advisory is in effect. 90 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Coming up at 5:33, the Tony Kinnett will join us. But up next, put on your big boy pants. We're going to play a fun round of Are You Okay With This? Come on back.
Mark Dietel, only local real estate expert I'd trust with the sale of my home. You don't have to take my word for it, though. Ask Luke and Emma in Franklin. They found a great piece of land, started building their dream home, but they needed to sell their old place the right price to fund that dream. They hired the Mark Dietel team, got multiple offers in the first weekend, and closed in 25 days.
Look, you got a lot of options in the real estate game, but the only real estate expert that we trust and we recommend is Mark Dietel. Why? Because of the guarantee. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. That's a game changer right there. That's what separates Mark Dietel. You pick the move date, no long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time. Call Mark Dietel today, 317-755-4232, or go to markdietel.com. Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietel.com.
Road trip! This summer at Tire Discounters, your tires are your passport to savings, because you're driving to Paris,
Texas,
then it's off to Rome,
Georgia,
and you'll be kissing the Blarney Stone in Dublin,
Ohio!
Right now, save up to $434 when you buy 4 tires, and that includes a free alignment and oil change. Stop at Tire Discounters before you see the world.
That's Mike, sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. That's because Mike was smart this time. He took ZzzQuil Ultra to fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs. So now he wakes up refreshed and ready to conquer Mondays.
Let's do this Monday.
ZzzQuil Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Tony Katz here for Premier Arms in Brownsburg. This is your premier gun store. Premier Arms has the experience and know-how to help the new gun buyer and the most experienced marksman. They've been in business for over 20 years and have a friendly, knowledgeable staff that wants to help you, not talk down to you. Premier Arms in Brownsburg is family-friendly, so bring the kids. All ages are welcome. Everyone can find what they're looking for at Premier Arms in Brownsburg, 3754 South Green Street, online at premierarms.com. Tell them Tony Katz sent you, premierarms.com.
Summer's in full swing, so come get that hot summer deal at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get $20,000 off select 2024 Lincoln Navigators, plus 0% for 72 months. Or lease a new 2025 Lincoln Corsair for just $499 per month at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Navigator MSRP $110,425. Corsair MSRP $53,915. $3,500 due at lease signing. 0 security deposit. 36 months. 10,500 miles per year. Offers good through 7/31/2025. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
At Kingdom Roofing Systems, they do more than just roofing. They believe in honoring those who've served. Kingdom Roofing Systems proudly participates in the Roof Deployment Project, which provides a brand new roof to a deserving U.S. veteran or active duty service member, absolutely free. You can help give back to those who have given so much. If you or someone you know has served, owns their home, and is in need of a new roof, apply today at kingdomroofingsystems.com/RDP. Kingdom Roofing Systems, building roofs, honoring heroes.
Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at DrexelIN.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for advice and fun. Brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
Are you really okay with this? Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show.
Oh, yeah!
Hammer, the first brick-and-mortar romance-only bookshop, has opened up. It's in the UK, and it's called Saucy Books. It's located in Notting Hill, London. You remember the movie Notting Hill with Hugh Grant and Julia Roberts, by the way? It's dedicated to the romance genre. Its authors and readers, nothing but romance in the bookstore called Saucy Books. Are you okay with this?
No. And let me tell you why. Because I know what the perception is, but it's not the reality. The perception is this romance-only bookshop is going to have people inside that look like Hugh Grant or look like Julia Roberts. But the real reality is it's going to be like the back page of a Craigslist ad. Everybody's going to be going in there thinking everybody wants to hook up. Oh, you must be looking for romance. And the people... These are not going to look like celebrities. You're going to have some big fat bastard that looks like Chris Christie and some big sweat hog mama that looks like Joy Behar. They're all going to be in there together, and they're going to be like harassing each other. I'm telling you, this is just a meetup for the people that used to get together on Craigslist. I'm not sure if that's still a thing or not, but for those who remember, this is what that is.
Allison, can you clip sweat hog mama for the review on Friday, please?
And I'm sure they've got all these different romance genres, right? The Harlequin romance and office romance sections and all that kind of stuff. But I wonder if they're going to have audiobooks, because it reminds me of a time on Family Guy where Peter Griffin got into the romance novel business, and this is what his book sounded like.
And then Captain Leroy Hot Dog Zanzibar and Gina from my work got in the backseat of his really cool spaceship. Gina was finally wearing that tank top I got her and nothing else. Zanzibar knew he couldn't control his space horniness any longer, and then they totally did it. And if I'd have been there, I would have been like, "Aw, sweet."
That's what the audiobooks of everything in this Saucy probably sound like. So for that very reason and others, I'm out. I'm a no. This is nothing.
Are you okay with this? President Trump is calling on the Washington Commanders. Used to be the Washington Redskins. President Trump calling on the Washington Commanders and the Cleveland Guardians to revert to their old nicknames. In a post in Truth Social, Trump wrote, "The Washington Whatevers," he called them the Washington Whatevers, "should immediately change their name back to the Washington Redskins football team. There is a big clamoring like this for, likewise, the Cleveland Indians, one of the 6 original baseball teams with a storied past." Are you okay with this?
I am okay with this, because the whole reason these things got taken away, white women were offended. Like, the guy that was the profile of the iconic Washington Redskins helmet, right? We've all seen the logo, right? The dude that was the profile. His family loved it. They thought it was a tribute. And same thing with some of these other companies that have had the logos taken away. Uncle Ben's, Aunt Jemima. They've made it perfectly clear they did not want their history and their heritage taken away.
Yeah, these are giant corporations, billion-dollar corporations, taking prominent minorities and their likenesses off their product.
Because white people were offended.
Because white people were
Specifically, suburban white women.
10 years ago, that would have been called racist. And now, for some reason, after 2020, it's the opposite.
Imagine going up to the family of Aunt Jemima. Hey, how dare you? What's wrong with you? We're going to remove your loved one from these packages moving forward. The hell you are. No, I mean, just the gall to do that because you're an offended white person.
I mean, Chief Wahoo for the Cleveland Indians back in the day, the big
red face with the smiley face.
A little questionable.
Okay.
But to change the whole name, Indians, I mean, I don't think the Indy Star refers to the Indianapolis Indians as the Indianapolis Indians. I believe they still refer to them as the Indianapolis baseball team.
I'm not sure. I don't read the Star. I know they did that a number of years ago.
A number of years ago. I don't know if they still do that or not, but that was a thing a few years ago for the Indianapolis baseball
Meanwhile,
team.
the Atlanta Braves are still able to do their thing. And like Florida State, the Seminoles.
Oh, yeah.
Like they have a dude before every game, Chief Osceola. He goes out on a friggin' horse with a flaming spear and he plants it at midfield. And everybody in the stands is doing the tomahawk chop. And everybody seems to be okay with that. That's a great tribute. But in Cleveland, don't you dare call your team the Indians.
All right,
so ridiculous.
One more. Are you okay with this? Dolly Parton was in the house at the opening preview for Dolly, a true original musical in Nashville. This is not a concert, it's a musical, but she had a warning for the crowd.
And they said to turn off all the stuff, including you. They said every time you hear a song you know that you're going to want to sing along. Well, don't. This ain't no hoot, Nanny. This is a Broadway musical. And I appreciate you. I'm going to share my voice.
Not allowed to sing with Dolly, but this isn't a concert, it's a musical. Is it different? Are you okay with this?
I'm going to defer to Allison on this one. She's the resident Dolly Parton fan of this group. You've probably seen more musicals and plays than I have in my life. Where are we at with this?
I think that's okay because it's a play. It's not a sing-along. It's like if you go to the movies and it's a musical and the people already know the songs, they're just singing in the theaters. You don't really want to hear them next to you.
Yeah,
so I think that's okay.
Minecraft, they had that scene where with the rabbit or something like
chicken
that.
Jockey.
The chicken jockey. Yeah, the chicken jockey that was going, like
they'd mention the
wildfire.
word and then all these people would go wild and throw stuff. So it kind of ruins it for everyone else. I think they could have a Dolly Parton sing-along night. That would be fine. But for the regular show, I agree. I agree with Dolly on this one.
All right, coming up here in just a moment, the Tonus, Tony Kinnett. He's the host of the Tony Kinnett Cast.
Flamethrower.
We got a lot to go over. He's going to be calling in right after John Herrick does the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
Something you should probably know. Right now, heat advisory in effect, 89 degrees on Monument Circle, but your radar is clear. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 5:30. The heat in Indiana has been ramping up lately.
A lot of people don't realize heat is the number one weather-related killer. Hundreds to thousands of people around the world every year.
Joe Neild with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says Thursday is supposed to be the hottest day of the week, and then severe storms could move in after that. Google's parent company Alphabet is surpassing analysts' estimates with its latest earnings report. Alphabet was estimated to hit $94 billion in revenue, but they earned about $2 billion more than that. The company also outpaced earnings per share estimates. A man convicted of killing 4 students in Idaho a few years ago got sentenced to life in prison without parole today. Fox's Jeff Manasso.
In court in Boise, Judge Stephen Hippler gave Brian Koberger 4 consecutive life sentences in the killings of Madison Mogen, Kaylee Gonsalves, Zaina Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin in an off-campus home in Moscow, Idaho in 2022. Investigators say they had Koberger's DNA at the crime scene. His sentence, part of a plea deal that took the death penalty off the table. at least for now.
He is going into the Department of Corrections custody, and he will remain there until he dies.
Later, County Prosecutor Bill Thompson, Koberger also sentenced to 10 years for burglary and over $250,000 in restitution and fines. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
A missing graduate student in Wisconsin was found dead today in the Mississippi River. Her name was Elliot Hines. She was 22 years old. She had been missing since Sunday. She was last seen walking in La Crosse. Hines was a student at Viterbo University. An autopsy will be done soon. If you use the rideshare app Uber, they're telling you about a new feature in the U.S. that pairs female drivers with female riders, which is being done for safety reasons. It'll begin piloting the feature in Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Detroit next month. The company says the rider's preference isn't guaranteed, but the feature increases the chances that women will be paired up in the app. And with traffic at 5:32, here's Matt Bear.
All right, John, on the east side, southbound 465 after Penn Pike crash in the left lane, slowing us down to Pendleton Pike. And then about a half mile after that, another crash at southbound 465 on the left shoulder. And then we get into a stop-and-go situation before I-70 down to South Shadeland Avenue. South side crash, northbound 65 at Southport Road. This is blocking the right shoulder, causing stop-and-go traffic to stop 11. Westbound 70 slows Rural Street into the north split. Southbound 6570 downtown stopped from the north split to the south split and delayed 7 minutes. Eastbound 70 stop and go before Holt Road into the south split, and inbound 65 slow roll from 21st around West Street. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at DrexelIN.com. Visit DrexelIN.com for your free interior design or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
The forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Moving into our Wednesday night, a stray thunderstorm is possible throughout the evening hours. Partly cloudy skies, low temperature around 75 degrees, winds out of the south at 5 to 10 miles per hour the entire night. I'm Wish TV, Storm Track 8, meteorologist in Arsutis 493 WIBC.
And I'm John Herrick on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
I got you.
The Hammer and Nigel Show. My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here with a special guest on the hotline.
He is an investigative reporter at the Daily Signal. He is the host of the Tony Kinnett cast that comes on after our program every damn night at 7 p.m. Tony Kinnett. My man, I'm looking at this story about Trump and Obama, and I hear the word treason being thrown around. And while he may be right, Donald Trump may be right, I've got such little faith in these congressional hearings that I've been hearing so much about my whole life that it feels like this is going to be another one of those things where let's just, for blanks and giggles, say that Obama comes in to testify. There's a subpoena. Here comes Obama. We're going to play damning audio. We're going to have awesome clips for each one of our shows. And at the end of the day, nobody's going to jail, Tony.
So regarding Obama, it's very likely that he doesn't go to jail because presidential immunity and the like. And the Supreme Court just ruling on that makes it, in this case, not treason, but sedition is actually the charge, also violating the Espionage Act of 1917 and about every obstruction of justice thing we have a charge for. I do think that Comey may go to jail over this. So and I've said this on the show, do I think that Obama will get subpoenaed? Now, I do believe he will get subpoenaed. I think that he might even be charged with contempt. Do I believe that Obama goes to jail? No, I don't. This is the consequence of electing a president of the United States. Comey, however, a little less clear.
And this all has to do with the documents that Tulsi Gabbard released, basically saying our own intel community said Russia did not interfere in a meaningful way with the 2016 election, but the Obama administration overrode that and set up an entirely different intelligence assessment so that they could perpetuate that lie and undermine the Trump administration. That's a serious offense, I think.
Yeah, so the serious offense part becomes that the following presidential administration, Comey and Brennan, they go up to Trump Tower in 2017, and they tell him, we're on to you. We got this dossier that says you like three things: Russians, hookers, and things that Russian hookers urinate. That's what we got you on right here. And so Trump was like, no. And they didn't, again, what they essentially used was false intelligence data that Obama commanded they create, that Comey agreed to create. We all have this on record. This isn't some hearsay, some Breitbart report from the middle of nowhere. This is in the emails. Wild paper trail. That's where the Espionage Act violation comes in. You are not allowed to try to fool the U.S. government. That's not allowed. That's not legal. I can't call the FBI and say, hey, I think you should go over here so that you're not actually over here looking at stuff. That's a felony. And it doesn't matter if the director of the FBI committed the felony. He doesn't have presidential immunity. He's very nervous right now.
And Tony, the position I'm in, and again, I'll get some, the MAGA folks coming at me, but the position I'm in is I agree. Where there's smoke, there's fire, and somebody probably should go to jail. But being a lifelong Colts fan, outside of a few couple years there, I expect the worst things to happen. Just like all these big tech people that were supposed to be punished for censorship and all these arrests that were supposed to happen with Epstein and all this kind of stuff. One arrest, big tech got off. I've got such little faith in anybody to do anything. Even though Trump may be right here, I just don't think anybody's going to jail. Does that make sense?
It does, and this is the problem with kind of the modern entertainment culture. And I hate to be that guy, although I'm more than happy to take a couple barbs here as well. We did this to ourselves. I'm sorry. You can get mad at me. You can say I'm the worst person on earth. When you have one person, we play telephone. You guys remember the game telephone, right?
Sure.
So when one person says, hey, I think he did something that's kind of shady here. The next person says, I think he did a lot of shady things. The next person goes, I think he committed murder. And then it's, I think he raped and murdered a whole village of people. By the time you get to the end of the chain, it's, I think there was grand conspiracy. Every communist was in on it to turn us all into a jihadi state of Muslim Hillary Clinton worshiping liberals. Oh, my God. Take a breather.
Looking back, though, I mean, he was after he was elected president in 2016, he decided not to go after Hillary Clinton and everything that she was involved with, the emails and things like that. And now that life was attempted on, and now that they impeached him twice over BS, now that they tried to put him in jail and it got a mugshot, so many things. Now this thing comes out. Tulsi Gabbard released even more damning details and documents earlier this morning. It does seem, I will say, it seems like Trump using the word treason in the Oval Office is a pretty big time deal.
The tell for the reason that the left is actually nervous about this, and I do mean genuinely nervous about this, is that Obama didn't come out himself and issue a snarky tweet. That's a red flag because Obama's never, ever had a problem coming out and being snarky or doing a little fear-mongering or a little pearl-clutching. The media, CNN, MSNBC, The Washington Post, New York Times, they've never had a problem coming out and saying, this is the end of democracy. Or on the flip side, Trump is so stupid. They're dead silent about this.
I want to go back, Tony, real quick. Let me jump in here. I want to go back to something Nigel said. I want to get your impression on this because I think it's important. He's right. Donald Trump had every ability to go after Hillary Clinton, and he probably should have. But in 2016, he thought, screw it. I won. Let bygones be bygones. He let her off the hook. But then they came after him, and they charged him, and they locked him up, and all this other stuff, and they tried to kill him multiple times. Was Trump naive in 2016, and is this a lesson that he's learned now?
I don't know if naive necessarily is the right word for it, but it's pretty darn close. I do think that there is an element of revenge in this. And again, as well as anyone might like to say, whether or not from their schoolmarm high horse, that, well, he shouldn't be concerned about revenge. No, unfortunately, institutional trust is gone. And now all that is left is the actors in the husks of those organizations, and they're going to duke it out. And when they charged Trump for everything, when they raided Melania's underwear drawer, the gloves did, in fact, come off.
And, I mean, the piece that they put out in the Wall Street Journal, for God's sake, about his happy birthday letter to Epstein and Trump drawing a supposed, like a drawing of a naked girl or something like that. All that stuff's adding up, man. And I'm telling you, I think we're going to see more here than, I'll push back on Hammer, just more than we think.
Maybe. I hate to just say maybe. I know that's not the world's most radio exciting word to hear. I am trying to be a little more careful rather than just go out and make blind predictions. But I will say that this is We have never seen an individual so nervous. For Obama's spokesperson that no one's ever heard of to be the only guy on the left that's mentioned this yet, that shows that there are some people on the left who are mighty afraid, especially if you're Comey and Brennan, that bars might be in the future.
Speaking with Tony Kinnett, investigative reporter for The Daily Signal and the host of the Tony Kinnett Cast, right after our show at 7 o'clock tonight. You put a tweet out there, and this is something that I've been saying too. I don't care what the polling says. I feel like Pete Buttigieg is probably the guy to beat for the Democrats in 2028. Now, I'm not saying he's the national favorite, because I think there are some pockets in the Deep South that are still going to have a hard time voting for Pete with his lifestyle choices. But when you look at the other folks that are lining up, Tony, is Buttigieg the guy for the Democrats in 2028?
I still don't see it, because it's not just the Deep South. It's also inner city Black and Hispanic voters cannot stand gay men. Sorry, that's what the demographics show. So if Pete Buttigieg, Mr., again, super proud about his DEI, so much so that he spent a ton of money, billions of dollars, that should have gone towards upgrading the FAA and air traffic control and, oh, hey, a lot of things we're having a problem with right now. He instead spent on DEI programs like race lectures and LGBTQ lectures, I'm sure, about the wonders of chest feeding as a man or whatever. and now he wants to come out there and get the white woman vote, because that's the only people who vote for the flamboyant DEI crowd in this country are either people who are a member of that community themselves or white women. That's it. And are there enough out there with enough female rage to vote for Pete? I don't think so.
In Iowa, though, he did win Iowa in 2020. I think he won New Hampshire, and then he was voluntold to let Biden have this thing to get to the finish line. So if he can win Iowa, maybe there are some other pockets around the country he can pull off. I don't know if it's enough to win a general election, but it might be enough to get that primary nod.
Now, hang on here. What do Iowa and New Hampshire have in common demographically? Let's do a little bit of thinking here. White women. Found the demographics. There we go. I just doubt that once you get to a major metropolitan area of the country or those corridors that he's going to be able to carry them. I mean, for one, people are still driving over the potholes that he's responsible for. And again, Iowa and New Hampshire notwithstanding, there's a lot of people who are pretty pissed at Buttigieg.
And then can you make a case maybe for Gavin Newsom, the governor of California?
I don't think so. I think it's going to be AOC. I do. I really believe that she is going to swing in and have it.
Oh, yeah. Is that what you just said?
I write it down.
Wow.
I do. I think that she is trying very hard right now to be smart. She is the only member of her party, other than John Fetterman, who's not going anywhere, who is I mean, I think by the end of the calendar year, Fetterman's not going to be a member of the Democrat Party anymore. But as far as AOC is concerned, she's the only person smart on the comm side right now. The only smart person on the comm side.
And she's a fundraising machine. She can bring in the cash.
She just has to pretend not to be insanely socialist, which she can do. Everyone else is insane. She can pretend not to be racist. No one else can do that. She can pretend not to be in favor of slave labor. On the flip side, Hunter Biden's out there going, we need crack cocaine and pot pickers. It's like, my God.
Can you come back for one more segment?
Sure.
Tony Kinnett's with us. He's coming right back. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
There's really never been a better time to find out your testosterone level. Just visit any low T center, take the test. It's fast. It takes about 15 minutes. And right now the test is still free, but time is running out. So get in now before you miss your chance. Most major insurance is accepted and treatment costs are minimal. Take control of your health now is easier than ever. So what are you waiting for?
There are so many reasons to check out the Low T Center. It really is your one-stop shop for all things men's health, whether it's blood pressure, whether it's screening for cancers, whether it's prescription weight loss medication or traditional TRT testosterone issues. The Low T Center, they've got you covered. So find yourself a Low T Center or just go online. FixMyLowT.com. That's FixMyLowT.com. You're going to be amazed at how much better you feel by the experts that are on staff. FixMyLowT.com.
Fill your tank. Don't drain your wallet. Sam's Club lets you save time at the pump with Scan and Go checkout at Sam's Club fuel stations. Just scan the QR code on the pump and pay. Visit your local Sam's Club today.
You know, sometimes dealing with home service contractors can be frustrating, whether it's missed appointments, sloppy workmanship, or just a general sense of indifference about helping you. Frustrating hardly describes that experience, Hammer.
And that's why we want to welcome a new advertiser to the Hammer and Nigel family, somebody you're going to be hearing quite a bit about in the coming months, Victor's Home Solutions.
Victor's installs the highest quality roofs available for your home, and they take all those negative stereotypes and turn them on their head.
They start with the basics, prompt, follow-up, showing up to appointments on time. And then they go above and beyond with installation teams that are so skilled, so precise, that Victor's is able to offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install.
5-star customer service and perfect installation. You're going to be really impressed with Victor's. They're the only roofer Hammer and I recommend to our listeners. It all starts with a free 21-point roof inspection. Call 1-866-VICTORS or victors.com.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. That's 800-883-3024.
So, where's the lake?
Not here.
But it says Great Lakes Honda Fishers.
Right. I just don't see a lake.
Who needs a lake when you can lease a 2025 HRV LX all-wheel drive for $329 a month and 0 down?
That definitely won't soak our bank account.
Oh, it's the old Honda Fishers.
Great Lakes, great people, great cars.
But no actual lake.
Visit us off State Road 37 for special pricing during our summer sales event. With approved credit through Honda Financial. In-stock new Hondas only. Not combinable with other offers. All fees due at signing. Loyalty or conquest rebates may apply. Offer ends July 31st. See dealer for details.
The Attorney General's office wants to put your money back in your pocket. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov and search for yourself, your loved ones, or your business. It's fast, easy, and free.
Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield and Common Threads has teamed up with the Indiana Fever to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies, Inc.
Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's family-owned jewelry store, is dedicated to quality and fine craftsmanship. Let them help you celebrate that special moment in your life. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Think of it as WIBC on 2x speed. Big opinions, great moments, and just enough chaos. The WIBC Mashup Podcast brings it all together in one fast, fun listen. New episode each weekday. Subscribe wherever you get your podcast.
Matt Bear has a look at the roads.
All right, Hammer, east side crashes. Southbound 465 after Penn Pike, that's on the left shoulder. And then another one about a half a mile after that, still on southbound. And the left shoulder's blocked here. Traffic is stop and go I-70 down to I-74 after the crashes. Inbound 70 slows rural to the north split. Then southbound 6570, that construction delay from the north split and to the south split is now 29 minutes. Looking at the south side, eastbound 465 slow before I-65. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at DrexelIN.com. Visit DrexelIN.com for your free interior design or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Heat advisory in effect. It's 89 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC. Back with Tony Kinnett, host of the Tony Kinnett Cast, coming up 7 o'clock right after us here on WIBC. I am so over the quote-unquote outrage of Stephen Colbert losing his gig. Like, anybody that's worked in broadcasting knows, and I've said this from day one, it's like you're a coach in sports. You are hired to be fired. You know what the end is going to be. He had a great run at CBS, but the fact of the matter is he had a big staff, he was hemorrhaging money, and the ratings were ass. And now all of a sudden, like Jon Stewart and Jimmy Kimmel, they're acting like sorority sisters bonding over this, and it's laughable to me.
Well, I mean, it's laughable for two reasons. Number one, because they actually, other than Jon Stewart and Colbert, because Stewart was Colbert's mentor, they all hate each other. They do hate each other because they're in their turf. And so the pro-clutching is them all realizing if CBS can cut him, oh, man, think about how much money I'm costing Comedy Central and ABC and all of the other networks, NBC. So they're nervous. But I love this most of all. They proved how untalented and how unfunny they are in how they stood up for Colbert. The fake gospel choir, the weird like Coldplay camera kind of a thing.
Like the F word. That's all they had. When you have no argument, you start dropping F-bombs. That's what you're talking about with Jon Stewart and the choir. Even Stephen Colbert told Trump to F off, and the crowd just went crazy.
Brave.
But zero argument whatsoever, because he knows he's humiliated. He knows he's embarrassed. He knows he's cost his network money. And it's not only Colbert that's going away. Nobody's replacing him. The entire Late Show brand is going away, and I think that says something about late night
You mean when
TV.
you book Adam Schiff for 2 straight segments as a guest on your show, ratings are ass? I'm shocked, Tony.
And I do want to make this clear. I have no problem with political comedy. Whose Line Is It Anyway? Back when Drew Carey ran it, not the goofball clown that's running it now. Back when Whose Line Was It Anyway was good, they consistently had guests on that would make fun of the right, that would make fun of George W. Bush and Newt Gingrich, and they would hilariously mock both sides of the political aisle. But it was comedy first, politics second.
Right.
And that is what Americans identify with. You guys have said that on your show consistently. The comedy first. And amazingly enough, when the mainstream media flipped that and made it politics first and then ham-fisting comedy into it like an Amy Schumer special, people turned that off quicker than the follow-up Super Bowl halftime show to the Janet Jackson malfunction.
Right. What's coming up on the big show tonight?
Well, not Cory Booker screaming into a trash can, but something pretty close. There's a lot of screaming going on right now, so we're going to try to sift through it.
Coming up tonight, not Cory Booker screaming into a trash can. Exclusive coverage on the Tony Kinnett Cast. My man, have a great show tonight. Thank you.
Thanks, you guys are the best.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show. Hammer here from my friends at Diamonds Direct. Keystone at the Crossing, right up there by the Green Bridge. And right now, get 20% off. 20% off inside that amazing showroom. And the big designer event, that starts this weekend, July 25th through the 27th. Make sure you get into Diamonds Direct. Call up there, stop by, make an appointment if you have to, but you don't want to miss these savings. Diamonds Direct. Tell them Hammer from Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Without